Sleepy town settling for the night, where the Owens women live their lives. And it's about time that the back porch light comes on at that house down the street, at that house on Magnolia Street.
Alrighty. Hey girl, hey.
Hey witch, hey.
How you doing?
How you doing?
I asked you first.
How you doing?
I'm doing real good because you know what? I got a pop filter.
We both got pop filters today.
Feel very professional.
We're ascending to our higher plane of existence. I don't know.
For two people who don't know what we're doing.
Yeah.
We're professionals.
Fake it till you make it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, we're doing a really good job at faking it.
Yeah. What's today? Tuesday. How was your weekend?
How was my weekend? It was okay. Sunday, I just kind of like took the whole day to be a mushy puddle on the couch, but it felt
You've
good.
been working on your Procreate.
Yeah, I'm having fun on Procreate. Thank you for your guidance.
Oh yeah, you're welcome.
It's going really good. I don't know what happened. Like the first two like mock paintings that I did on there were like really shitty, and then somehow it just clicked.
That's awesome.
And I'm really happy with what I created on there so far.
Do you think you're used to like Photoshop stuff and that's where your brain was kind of putting you?
Yeah, like I feel like every new platform has a bit of a learning curve. So it's like you have to get past the initial frustration of not knowing what the fuck you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And thank you for giving me your pro tips and getting me on the right. Dude, once you show me that symmetry feature, game changer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Great. I'm glad. I can't wait to see what you
frustrated, but yeah, no, I'm having fun with it now.
Well, thank you. It was very rainy
this weekend.
Very rainy here. And we didn't do a whole lot of anything. I'm just painting. Yeah. And for those interested, you can see all my new stuff on @Seka Artistry on Instagram.
Some of the new stuff you are creating is very cool. I love the black and white ink with the gold leaf.
Thank you.
Gorgeous. I wanted to comment on the type of flower that you did a drawing of.
The orchid?
The what are they called?
Ranunculus?
Ranunculus?
I was
like, that sounds like ridiculous. Like that's so ranunculus.
Ranunculus.
So ranunculus. I'm just gonna use that from now on instead of ridiculous. That's so ranunculus.
I saw a shirt the other day that said, "Don't be
ranunculus."
No, it was like not testicular.
Oh my god! Don't be testicular.
It was a play on the word testicular, but it was like, let me look it up. Testerical. Like hysterical, testerical.
What is that? Testerical? Is that a word?
It's not. It was like a flipping the misogyny in like church groups.
Okay.
And they were like letting all the girls go do and have fun and all the boys have to stay behind and talk about purity and being quiet and like don't be testicular. No, I don't remember. Hysterical.
You know what they should have done? They should have made the boys stay behind and watch the Miracle of Life video that we all had to fucking watch.
Yeah, the miracle of childbirth.
Or just like that period video that we all had to watch. Did you ever have to watch that video?
I don't think so. Dude, I think I was in like 5th or 6th grade and all the girls go to the bathroom at once, you know, and all the boys go to their bathroom. Yeah. And the one girl next to me was like, she was kind of the bully and she was like, "Do you need a pad?" And I was like, "Yes." So she gave me one and I figured out I put it in my underwear and I was like, I think it was 4th grade. She must have been like real early, but I put it, I was like, I gotta get this thing out. It was like a huge diaper. I was like, yeah. This is not meant for me. But we never had like the video. Catholic school doesn't tell you about that. It's like, I remember my mom trying to tell me about like, these are the things you're going to need. Don't be alarmed. This is natural if you start bleeding. I wasn't like scared at all. I was like, because all my friends were like talking about it already. And my best friend at the time had already gotten hers. So I was like, okay. And she was younger, which I was a little jealous. I was like, wait a minute.
I remember we watched it 5th grade, I think. And then after they gave us like a little goodie bag of like little deodorant and a little, I don't know, maybe
cute.
I don't remember what they gave, like a little razor, like a little, I don't know, like stuff that you need when you're becoming
hygiene.
Yeah, female hygienic products. I was like, what is this shit? I don't need this right now. I didn't need that shit till I was in 9th grade. I was a late bloomer.
It was like twisting my arm. My mom was like trying to get me to start wearing a bra.
Oh,
like,
me too.
Yeah. She was like, you need to, because we had white polo shirts for Catholic school. And she was like, you need to wear a bra now. I was like, I don't want you.
Yeah, I went through that same kind of battle where I was just like, I was resisting growing up so hard.
Mm-hmm.
And now you see these little TikTok girls that are like, they look like they're 22 and they're like 14. I'm like, what the fuck?
I know.
Oh my God.
If you guys want to know more, go back to our 90s witch
Oh,
core aesthetic episode and we'll tell you all about the trauma.
yeah, there's a lot of awkwardness, but anyway.
Anyway, I'm Kristina.
I'm Justina.
This is how we get back on track.
This is
Welcome to
how we
Magnolia
roll.
Street.
Yeah, welcome. Welcome to the party. If you're just joining in now, you have a good whopping, 18 episodes to catch up on if you're starting from here.
Yeah. And
Yep.
this comes out, I think, after Ostara, right?
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
hope everyone had a great Ostara or Easter or whatever the hell you celebrate.
Yeah, welcome spring. Finally.
Welcome spring.
It's funny
Oh.
because we're recording this in mid-February and it's not even close to welcome spring. We're sitting here freezing my ass off and like, welcome spring, everybody. We're full of shit.
It keeps you optimistic. Like it keeps you like something to look forward to.
Yes, exactly. But yeah, spring can't come soon enough.
It's gonna be like 75 in the middle of this week, but also with rain.
Uh-huh.
But it's gonna be humid. I can tell, like a humid summer. is on
Does
the
your
way.
hair kind of like poof up in the humidity?
Absolutely.
Or does yours go flat?
You know what? We're going to get to this later, but humidity has something to do with something we're going to talk about later.
It does.
With like something that's listed where I'm like, but wait. Okay.
Okay.
So today we're talking about goofs and trivia.
Yeah, I'm wondering how humidity what that has to do with goofs and trivia. Now you have me intrigued. What are we talking about?
What are we talking about? This is our patron pick. This was on the poll on our Patreon, and our patrons had this along with a few other options. And they wanted to know about the goofs and the trivia within Practical Magic, just the movie today. We're just doing the movie, right? Because we already did a book versus movie where there are many differences. So go check that out. It's like our second episode.
Yeah, and we can't really do goofs and trivia based on the book because it's just the book. So like, that's already edited. There's not really goofs and trivia in that.
Except how Michael dies. Oops.
Yeah, I mean, I guess.
Except how the Death Watch Beetle is involved. Oops.
Yeah, but would that just be considered book versus movie at that point?
Well,
how do you do goofs and trivia for the books? I don't know.
But the book for Michael, between book 1 and book 4,
yeah,
two different ways.
Death's completely different. Okay, yeah, I guess that's a big goof in trivia. That's like the big one, right? Like the only one that we've actually noticed.
Mm-hmm. And if the one you love is doomed to die, they can't hear the Death Watch Beetle. However, like the Owens women are hearing the Death Watch Beetle for themselves.
Yeah.
Whatever. So how do we want to do this? Because most of this is from the IMDb page and also creepycatalog.com, which has a bunch of trivia on it. So I guess we'll just start in the beginning. They were nice enough to like alphabetize their categories.
Oh, all right, cool. So I guess we'll just jump right in.
I'm going to let you take that first one because I don't know what that word is.
Anachronisms?
It's an anachronism.
I have no idea.
An anachronism, a thing belonging or appropriated to a period other than that in which it exists, especially a thing that is conspicuously old-fashioned.
I don't understand.
So something that doesn't belong in a certain place.
Okay. But it said, all right, so this is what it says under anachronism. When the mothers are meeting to learn who was named to the different places on the phone tree, they were all surprised when Sally was named at the top of the tree. She should have already been named lower on the tree, most likely at the lowest spot due to her unpopularity within the community. So does this mean that we should have seen her name at the very bottom, but then also have seen her name at the very top? Is that what that means?
When I feel like in the movie, when they first cut to the page, you can see whose name is at the top. Like it's not an empty. They had already written it in, it looked like. But the magic of that scene is that her name wasn't already there, and Jillian is the one who puts her name at the top. So if Jillian can somehow with her mind write Sally's name at the top of that page, then she should also be able to take Sally's name off of the bottom of the page. You know what I mean?
I can roll with that theory.
That's how I always saw it, because she was like, that was me.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I can roll with that theory.
But I wonder where it's laid out. But tell me in your mind, like, what is one of the biggest like differences or biggest oopsies in this movie that has always stood out to you and bothers you?
That bothers me?
Yeah.
The scene where they're dragging Jimmy in through the door when they finally get back to the house on Magnolia Street, and the door hits him in the head and he winces. I'm like, dude, he's dead. How are his eyes moving? That's always the one that like stood out to me.
Okay.
What about you?
Dude, I don't know. Oh, when Nicole Kidman's Australian accent slips out.
Oh yeah, she's like, watch his bowl, Sal.
Yeah. And they pick him up, and before they pick him up, there's like towels and stuff on the table folded up, and then they pick him up and there's nothing there. I'm like,
Oh, I never noticed that.
come on, guys.
Yeah, that's interesting. I'm sure there's more that I can't
Mhm.
think of right now, but that's always the one that I'm always like, oh, come on. You
Mhm.
couldn't get a take of him not going like this? But,
Yeah. Going like this.
you never noticed that one?
Mhm.
Yeah, I always thought that one was funny. Also, I don't know if this is in the notes, but when they're about to put the pins in his eyes,
Mhm.
shouldn't they have already put the pins in his eyes for that spell to have worked? Because it was a part of the spell.
Tell me the step by step. Insert images through eyes of corpse.
Yeah, but like, shouldn't they have already done that for the spell to have worked? Because they had the pins against his eyes ready to stick him in the eyes, but then he opened his eyes before they do that at all. And then they
Mhm.
drop the pins. And I'm like, dude, shouldn't they have,
So was
for
it the
this-
belladonna?
for the spell to have worked, shouldn't they have already stuck the pins through his eyes? So this goes back to your theory, Kristina, when you were like, maybe he wasn't actually dead. Maybe the belladonna was just kind of like ebbing and flowing through his veins. Maybe he wasn't dead that whole time. Maybe he was just unconscious.
Yeah.
But he had no pulse. They said he had no pulse, right?
Come on. I mean, yes, they did. They did. But like, if you're in a panic and you're trying to like, we just killed a guy, like trying to find their pulse.
Yeah.
Oh, well, she is giving him CPR,
Yeah.
which good on her.
Wait, did they actually say he had no pulse?
Jillian is like, I don't care what he comes back as long as he comes back with a pulse.
the pulse. Right. So
Whether or not he
insinuating
had one.
so she was insinuating that he didn't have a pulse, but I don't think they
Mm.
actually said he didn't have a pulse.
Mhm.
All right. So what do we want to look up?
Let's go to the phone tree day,
Phone tree day.
which, by the way, is our next song episode. So while Justina's queuing up this video for us to look at real quick, should we slide in a little clip of the song right here?
Yes. All right.
Please.
Let's do it. Let's slip in a clip.
Get on the old slip clip.
Let's slip that clip.
Phone tree day. Well, it's looking like it's pretty lame. I sure as hell wasn't cut out for hanging with the PTA. Cut it out with the he said, she said. Cause it's rotting my brain. I'm just here to see my sister at phone tree day.
Okay. Let me screen share this. So, can you see this?
Libby?
Or is that Debbie?
Debbie?
Debbie. Debbie. All right. So on the phone tree on the paper, this is the very first cut of this page, by the way. Okay.
Yes.
As the first cut of the page in this scene. So at the top of the tree, we have Debbie. Then on the left branch, we have Dory. Then on the right branch, we have Abigail. Then on the left branch below Dory, we have Sylvia. Then on the right branch below Abigail, we have Nan, whoever the fuck Nan is. Then on the left branch below Sylvia, the very last branch is Maria. And then on the right branch below Nan is Melanie. And then there's a little space underneath where it says number 1, which is the first person of there. Obviously, whoever, because this is the binder of all of the people who have handed in their slips, right? There's no name at the top of that page. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm wondering, you don't think this is her last like copy? Like she took the votes and then put all the votes on this page, and that where it says name, it's just supposed to be her name, but it's her binder, so she didn't write her name in?
No, I don't think so, because at the end when she's like surprised that it's Sally, she's flipping through the pages.
Oh,
As if they were different.
Do the other pages have names at the top? Also, these phone numbers, do they start with like 555? Because that'd be
fake ones in movies they do. Yeah, I don't know if these do, but I mean, if it's a movie, I'm sure they're probably all 555.
Hit play.
All right, let's see where this goes from here.
6. It just had a 6 dash, so they must all have like the same 3 numbers. Such a good outfit.
Yeah.
For Sally in this scene.
Also, didn't we already have this discussion at some point about Jillian's outfit in this scene?
We didn't.
We never talked about that?
Yeah, you said that she must have had gone home
to
change because she was in Verbena and she was in all black.
Yeah. So she had to have consciously gone home, gotten changed into this little getup to go get all these women all riled up. Out
of all these women, I really like the blonde with the bangs and the double braids. I think she's so cute.
She's quirky.
They shook his hand and he died. It's very
Oh,
mysterious.
very mysterious. Is that a snake
I
tattoo?
feel like she also is like intrigued by Jillian. She's like, is that a snake tattoo? Fucking
Do
belly
you see this
chains.
girl over here giving her
I
the
know.
side eye? I never noticed that before. I never noticed her. That's great.
Look, wait a minute. Look behind Jillian. Look at
The
those two
dolls?
dolls.
The dolls.
A light-haired one and a brown-haired one with
Yeah.
braids.
Oh, wow.
Cute. Never noticed that.
Yeah. Oh, look, they're in the back. They're reading Where the Wild Things Are.
Oh, that's cute.
One of my favorite books.
Jillian's a wild thing.
Yeah. Oh, in that part where she's like, all that's missing with me now is me naked without my homework. For the longest time, I had no idea what she said. I was
Oh,
like,
what do you think she said?
I don't even know. It just sounded like a jumbled mush. I was like, what does she even say there? Oh, can you read what those names are back there?
I cannot.
Okay. I never noticed that she was putting the names up on the board.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah, she
noticed
pulls the
that?
little leaf out and then puts it there.
Okay. All right. So I'm wondering if at the end, when they finally realized that Sally was at the top, if the board changes too. Okay. So now Sally is at the top of the tree.
Mm-hmm.
All the other names on there are the same.
And there's no names at the top of the pages to
Right.
signify who handed them in.
Right. So
Okay. Interesting.
So it looks like they all did. Can you see what's on that lady's binder? The one that's about to get her fingers
Who do,
snapped.
who do you think I am? I cannot see a thing on that.
I'm just
picture.
trying to see if that's the same exact page as that's in what's her name? Is that Sarah, the lead phone tree
Uh-huh.
lady? I
And
wonder
they
if
must all be looking. I know, like they all have that little blue binder.
yeah.
They all have a yellow page on the left and a white page on the right.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if they have the same copy of the tree. So they're
Right.
writing in the names. They must be writing in the new names
Oh,
and
got
phone
it.
numbers of the women for that
Yeah.
month.
Yeah. Okay, you're probably right. Yeah. All right. All right. Yeah. But it still doesn't make sense to me how, like, Sarah, the lead phone tree lady, she got all those pages in. I guess it's supposed to be anonymous, but then, like, why would they have a name, like
Section.
a place to enter your name in at the top of the page? You know?
I don't know.
I don't know. I'm overanalyzing it at this
I
point.
know,
I'm
you
just like,
Sag.
I need to get to the bottom of this. All right, we can move on.
Oh, that made my like chest all tight.
I'm sorry.
Ah.
My theory stressed Kristina out.
All right. So let's go to some audio-visual unsynchronized effects, I suppose. So, okay,
Yeah.
the sisters have a dual-lit toaster in the kitchen. At one point, the toaster makes a loud ping and the toast pops up when Jet said, just making toast is all. So that model of the dual-lit doesn't do that, apparently. It has a lever that you have to use to manually lift the toast, and it doesn't ping either. It has a dial that counts down the seconds with a clockwork grind and then just stops. So there's no ping. So they must have added that ping in.
I think that's interesting. Have you ever heard of a toaster that doesn't ping? Or even a toaster oven usually pings, right?
Yeah.
Or something. So, like, what if you're across the house and you don't know that your toast is done?
You will have cold toast. I'm going to look up this brand of toaster.
All right.
Dual-lit is a song by Oh, no, that's Duality. By Slipknot.
Toaster.
A dual-lit toaster is $260 on Amazon.
Oh, damn.
Ooh, that one's cute.
Is it
That's
the
cute.
same one as the movie?
$260 for a toaster?
This expensive toaster. It better be popping out golden toast.
Yeah, that's why the aunts are doing their side projects, because they got to pay for their August stove and their dual-lit toaster.
Seriously. They have expensive taste. All right. What's the model number?
This looks like a more like modern one.
Okay.
Let's see. The model number. Why?
No, I mean like what model is it?
Oh, it's called the Dual-lit Vario 2-slice. Vario.
And that does not go ding.
Apparently that does not go ding. There's the Dual-lit 46025 Light 4 long slice toaster in black. That one looks like a like one of those UK double-decker trucks.
Oh.
$292. You know that line though that I really like is that smeg.
They make those really cool fridges I've seen.
Mhm.
Yeah.
All right. Are we just gonna alternate?
Sure. So the next one is after burying Jimmy, the sisters go back toward the house with their shovels. There is a scraping noise when the shovel drags against the ground, but a few seconds later the sound is still there, yet both of their shovels are off the ground.
Let's go watch it.
All right.
And also, are they on the cobblestones very long for it to be scraping?
It's hard to tell because it's such a dark scene. I can't tell if the shovels are on the ground or not.
It looks like they're holding them, like they're picking them up. It doesn't look like they're on the ground at all.
All right, then I guess that one's accurate. It's hard to tell. Let me try again with the screen enlarged. Yeah, they have them up, holding them up like this.
All right. Okay.
That's funny. I never noticed that
I
before.
never noticed that either. Good catch there. I think IMDb.
Yeah. Who submits these? Is this like,
I don't know. People like us, people like you who watch this video very closely.
just pick it apart?
Yeah. This next one is pretty well known. And I thought who they were invoking when I was younger was how you said it. But when casting the resurrection spell, both Jillian and Sally mispronounced the name of the goddess Hecate or Hecate. They say Hectate instead of Hecate. And maybe they did that on purpose, because do you really want to be like invoking Hecate?
Yeah.
Like outright over and over and over, because that's a surefire way to get her to show up pissed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with that theory. I'm gonna say, because didn't they have an actual practicing witch on the set? Well, there's word on the street that this witch cast put a curse on the movie or something like that.
Right. We talk about that a little later, but yeah.
Yeah. So I'm not sure if it's the same witch, but maybe there was kind of like, a real practicing witch overseeing this scene that was like, you can't invoke
right
over and over again,
which good on them for like respecting the pantheon, I guess.
Yeah. So that's what I'm gonna go with. I don't know, I can't think of any other reason why they would say that other than maybe they just didn't know how to pronounce it and it was never fixed. It was just like overlooked.
Well, even if you look at the spelling, Hekate, they add an extra T in there. It's not like you can misread that.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like Hecate and Hecate.
Hectate. Mighty Hectate. Make it right.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah. It's funny though, because if that were the case, if there were a witch overseeing this on the set, and that witch was like, you can't really invoke Hecate during the scene, you have to change it somehow. There are probably actually practicing witches who watch this movie and watch that scene and get their feathers are all ruffled because they say it wrong,
right?
But like maybe it was actually intentional, so they're not sitting there actually invoking this very strong goddess.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
So that's I'm gonna go with that theory.
Okay.
All right. So we're gonna move on to character errors. That's the first one in character errors. So the next one is the aunts tell Sally they are taking the girls to the. Oh, we've already talked about this one. I feel like 1,000 times.
This one just grinds salt into our soul.
This one bothers me.
Yeah.
So the aunts tell Sally that they are taking the girls to the solstice celebration, and they return the morning after Jimmy dies, talking about it. There are 2 solstices per year, summer and winter. It is obviously summertime by the way everyone is dressed on that night and the following days. The summer solstice is in late June. When Sally is chopping down the rose bushes that grew overnight by Jimmy's grave, Detective Hallett comes and comments that it's early for roses. But actually, in New England, June is right on target for roses. Does it say where they are located? It's filmed in the Pacific Northwest, though it is also the perfect season for roses there as well. So this says, does it say where they're located? This person must not be a fan of the books, but this is obviously supposed to be New England, Massachusetts area. So if it's going in line with the whole East Coast in the United States, yeah, that's prime summertime. That's supposed to be for roses. And then they also say in the movie it's March 8th, right?
They could have said the equinox, and that would have been more believable.
Right. Yeah. Maybe that's what they meant.
They just don't know. Maybe that's about that time that the like on-call standby witch quit. She was like, I'm out. And they had to figure it out on their own.
You guys are on your own with factual errors.
Yeah,
don't
fuck you guys.
Up. Yeah, she's like, fuck you guys. You're on your own. So maybe, because if they had a witch on set kind of verifying all of these facts, don't you think that she would have caught that?
We'll never know. We'll never know. Let's talk about Jillian for a second and her connection with Joni Mitchell in that scene where she's driving her car to see Sally. So we think, should we reiterate the fan theory that was brought forward that she's not really physically driving across country overnight to see her sister? She's like astral projecting herself to go see Sally. But anyway.
Yeah. I remember, I think we talked about this during one of our Facebook lives. So I don't think we ever talked about this on the air on the show.
We did.
I don't know. We might have briefly touched on it, but since we've talked about it, I've actually watched that scene with that in mind. And
I think we did talk about it.
We did talk about it, but we talked about it on a live. Since I watched the scene with that in mind.
Okay.
That was when we talked about it on the live, because before that we just talked about what one of our listeners was telling us about the scene and that whole theory. But then I watched it with that in mind, and I completely saw what they were talking about. When Nicole Kidman, when Jillian sits on that toilet with that belladonna, and she puts that belladonna in that bottle and she's waiting for it to shake around, she actually looks in the mirror and she kind of like composes herself as if she's getting ready to like channel something. And she like closes her eyes and drifts, kind of like, that's when the scene kind of like drifts off into her driving. And the sky doesn't look real at all. So I think that theory is true about the astral projection.
It holds up.
Yeah, because like you can't drive from the West Coast to New England in one night and get back in one night. Not possible.
And that's not even like the inconsistency we're going to talk about in a second. But I think even in the commentary, Griffin Dunn is like, we needed a way to show how magically these two were connected and that like time didn't exist. So the passing of the scenery and the sun rising and setting would be on its like own timeline. But Jillian in the car singing to herself with the smoke rising to the ceiling, like that's a separate timeline in itself.
Mm-hmm.
So he even goes on to say, like, we needed, but he never says it's not, he never says she's not there. And he never says it's her, like, astrally projecting. But I like the fan theory.
I like that theory. And then also, do you realize that in that scene, like, when she finally gets to Sally and Sally wakes up and, like, Jillian's next to her, her head's on the pillow, she's in a leather jacket, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So they're chatting, she's in the leather jacket, and then it cuts to a scene, I guess, later on that same night. Jillian's in pajamas by the fireplace. And then the next scene where she's getting ready to leave, she's in her leather jacket again.
Right.
And then the next morning, there's actually a head indentation on the pillow.
Mm-hmm.
So it's insinuating that Jillian was actually physically really there. But the timeline and that whole... So she has a leather jacket on, then pajamas, then puts on her leather jacket to drive back in the same... I don't know. It just doesn't add up.
There's not enough time.
Yeah. So I'm thinking for sure that it was some kind of spiritual visit from her sister.
Yeah.
And the head indentation is proof that she was actually there, but like in Sally's mind and heart.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how else to explain it. It's just...
No, it's perfectly.
That whole scene is perfectly. Very, very bizarre, but it kind of gives me chills, like goosebumps almost.
To think of it now in that way, I'm like, wow, that makes much more, because you see them have a telepathic communication in the car when she tells Sally that the belladonna is in her bag.
Right.
So it's very possible that they've done this all their lives.
And also, right before Jillian goes to that bathroom with that bottle of belladonna, what is she doing in the bed with Jimmy?
Looking at her scar, which Sally was looking at her scar.
So she sensed that her sister needed her at that moment. So that prompted her to go to the bathroom to visit her sister during an astral projection.
Mm-hmm. She was just playing it cool the whole time.
Yeah. Yeah. And then like Jimmy was like, I'll go with you. She's like, no. You can't come with me.
I have to microdose your ass and you need to sleep. So if she's astral projecting, she's just sitting in the bathroom?
With the bottle of belladonna?
What if she didn't give the belladonna to Jimmy? What if she took it to hallucinate and help her ascend to this astral space?
Dude,
that's
a good theory. Because if you think about it, she told him that he can't come to the bathroom with her, and we know that she was microdosing him, but so you're telling me she went to the bathroom, put the belladonna in the tequila to give to Jimmy, but she ends up astral projecting so that in turn that drink never gets to Jimmy because she's on this journey to see her sister.
Mm-hmm.
So Jimmy's just chilling in the other room, just like twiddling his freaking thumbs.
Just waiting.
Do you think he like knocks on the door to get tequila out of her hands while she's just like sitting there, just like oming to another dimension?
Right.
Like, I don't know.
Oming to another dimension.
Like, it just doesn't add up, but I mean,
It's funny. That's funny.
It is funny to think about.
Okay, so the inconsistency that is listed is that the song she's singing is called A Case of You by Joni Mitchell.
Yeah.
And she's mouthing along, singing along to the words, and she sings along. The lyric is, I would drink a case of you. But she says, I would drink a piece of you, which I think is cute because, like, I know Nicole Kidman probably listened to the song enough to know some of the lyrics, but the fact that she kind of like, who hasn't like fucked up a lyric singing in the car, you know, it makes her very human to me.
I feel like I heard this somewhere. I can't verify where I heard this from. It might even be in these notes later on down the line. I don't know.
We don't read ahead.
We don't read ahead. We just copy paste. So I don't know what's ahead, but I heard that they got Nicole Kidman to play this part because they sent her a CD full of songs that was going to be on, I guess, involved with the movie, and she only signed on to the project because of the Joni Mitchell song.
Really?
That's what I heard. I don't know
Interesting.
where I heard that from, but if that was the case, shouldn't she know the freaking words to the song?
To be honest, like, I don't really love a bunch of Joni Mitchell. Maybe like 3 songs. She's hard to like, in my opinion, but this song is good.
Her guitar playing, I must say, her guitar playing is commendable because she works with a lot of alternate tunings. Like, I've been playing guitar for probably 2 decades now, and I still don't fuck with alternate tunings. I'm like, oh, standard's fine.
Like, I mean, I think her style is impressive. It's really interesting and very like poetic, but I don't really love her pitch all the time.
She's very falsetto all the time. Her voice is kind of always one pitch all the time. Yeah. There's no dynamic, but
she's got some good ones.
Her songs are great. I really love her song California. Have you ever heard that one?
Yeah. I think that's the one I was just thinking of.
That's a fun one.
Does that have a goat in it? A line about a goat?
I don't remember, but I just like the cadence of the song, like it's just like fun. I don't know. We'll put on the playlist.
Her style is interesting.
It's an acquired taste, I feel like.
Reading the news, it sure looks bad. They won't give peace a chance. Now I gotta find that goat lyric. Oh, I got a plane to Spain. Went party down on the road. Where's the? Am I making that up? Is there no? Never mind. Fuck it. We'll put it on the playlist.
Kristina just hears lyrics.
Just kind of like how I make up our notes sometimes when I'm reading.
Just make up your own, like, you know, when you're 5, you just make up your own words to songs.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, those words have just stuck with you for all these years, and there's still those lyrics. All right, so this one we already talked about. This was the one that bothered you. It says, when the sisters are dragging Jimmy's dead body onto the table, Nicole Kidman's Australian accent comes out when she says, watch his bowls, Sal. You already said that one.
Watch his bowls.
Watch his bowls. All right, so now we're moving on to continuity errors.
All right, so again, we touch on all of these like so individually in a bunch of our other episodes, but it's cool to have them like all in one place. So when Sally and Jillian isn't even a part of that sentence. When Sally and Gary Hallett are in the motel room, B&B, and she's being interrogated, when the recording of his conversation starts in the motel room, he lists it as March 8th, right? 1998. Yes. So they're not even past the summer solstice at that time, which would be in June. So this goes along with that summer solstice just not fitting into the timeline of the movie.
Yeah, so at that point when they're in Gary's hotel and he's talking to the tape recorder, that should have put them first week of July if the solstice is on like the 21st.
Yeah.
Because I'm guessing like a couple weeks passed since they bury Jimmy and Gary shows up.
Mm-hmm.
So that should have put them in like early mid-July at some point.
Mm-hmm.
So it always blew my mind when he was like March 8th, 1998. I'm like, that is incorrect.
Unless it was almost a year. Unless Jillian had been there almost a year.
I don't think it was a year.
You don't think so? Okay.
No, I don't think it was a year.
Interesting. Okay.
Absolutely not. It couldn't have been a year.
Why not?
Because they bring Jimmy back, right? On the supposedly on the summer solstice.
Yes.
The aunts come back with the girls.
Yes.
Then what happens from there?
And then you see them have phone tree day. They have midnight margaritas. Well, before.
I don't think it was a whole year.
I mean, it maybe.
I don't know. I don't think so, but
Okay, just a thought.
now I'm gonna have to go back and watch and like verify, see if I can catch anything that proves it wasn't a whole year.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it couldn't have been a whole year.
Your face.
Yeah, I'm thinking. My wheels are turning. All right, we can move on. We'll be here for hours if you let me go down this rabbit hole.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So Officer Hallett is supposed to have one green eye and one blue. However, the moment Sally notices this is the only moment it actually happens. During the rest of the movie, both eyes are blue. Yeah. And you can kind of see, like, I guess they color corrected one eye in post-production.
You only see it when he looks
right at her.
Yeah, he's like looking, you know how like when you're close to somebody, you look at one eye and then you look at the other eye. Like it only happens when he looks to like her left eye and it flickers and then it flicks back and that's it. So in the scene where Sally is cutting down the rose bushes outside, her jeans have dirt marks on the knees. And then when she goes inside to get her sister, I guess after Gary shows up, her jeans are clean. So she is kneeling, isn't she, when she is cutting them roses? Yeah.
And it's funny. I told you I watched this movie with my parents like a couple weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
My dad actually pulled this one out. He's like, hey, did you notice that her knees are dirty in that scene and then her knees are clean in the other scene? He's never seen the movie before.
Oh my God.
A million freaking times. And I was like, oh my God, you're right. So he pulled that one out. I was like, oh. All right. So when the witches jump off the roof, they are in a different order when they land than when they are on the roof. I've never noticed that one.
Let's watch that.
Roll the tape.
Roll the footage.
All right. Hold on. Let me share my screen again.
Let's see the order, I guess, from left. I thought it went the aunts, Sally and Jillian, and then the kiddos.
All right. So let's look at this order. Is that the two aunts on the left?
Franny, then Jet.
Franny and Jet.
And then Jillian, then Sally.
Yeah, that's Jillian and Sally, right? And then the little girls are on the very top.
Hang on a second. Is there an extra witch hat right behind them?
There is.
Was there an extra person up there with them?
Who is that?
Who is that? Go back. Please go back.
Wait. All right. Hold on. Maybe they'll show it before they're ready to jump.
Okay, so it does go Jillian and Sally.
Do they not show it again? Dude, you saw it.
Unless it was their shadow on the door.
Or unless it was the umbrella not fluffed up yet.
Okay, so what's our lineup here? Franny, Jet, Jillian, Sally, then the two daughters. Kylie,
then Antonia, right?
Okay.
All right. So let's see how they fall. Oh yeah.
Oh, what?
Jillian's over here now.
And who's on the left?
It's so hard to tell. That's Franny.
They like flipped it and reversed it.
Yeah. What?
The fuck? Interesting.
That is interesting.
Look at fucking Gary's face.
Oh, yeah. And look, Kylie's in the middle now. And then Antonia's right next to her, I think.
That's funny. Gary's face is like, wow.
Yeah. All right, here's
oh, you're right.
That it flipped. That's Franny and Jet on the left now. And now Jillian and Sally are all the way on the right, and the girls are in the middle. Whoa, how did I never notice that before? Wow.
So when they land, like looking at it, before it was the two nieces and the two great nieces, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And when they land, it's Jillian, Sally, Franny, Jet, and then the little ones.
No, the little ones are in the middle at the end. Jillian and Sally are all the way on the right. And
say it like you would be looking at them, not from behind. Jillian would be first.
Oh no, I'm just looking at them from behind.
I know, but like when I said it initially, because when they're up on the house, you're looking at them.
So while we're looking at them, while they're on the roof, you have Franny,
yes,
Jet, Jillian, Sally,
yes,
Kylie, Antonia,
yes.
Now picture you're in the audience at the bottom of that house, and they float down to you.
Yes.
Now you're looking at Jillian, Sally, Kylie, Antonia, Jet, Franny.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay.
Makes no sense.
It was getting confusing with the flip flop.
Okay. Still makes no sense though.
No, makes no sense.
Why
go
do
back
they
to that mystery hat?
I'm gonna go back to that mystery hat on the roof because that also threw me for a loop. Hold on. Let's see.
Oh, this is such a beautiful scene.
I know. I love this scene.
I want to look up. Do you mind going back a little farther to when Jillian is like laughing? I want to see what vegetable she's holding. And when you
I think they're radishes.
Harvest those, I think they're radishes, right?
Yeah. All right.
When you harvest those, because the girls in the tree, like when the girls are watching, they look like they're in like cords, like fall outfits.
All right. I'll go back to that in a minute. Let's see who comes out. That's Is that Jillian first? That comes out of the house onto the roof? That's Jillian?
Yes.
All right, that's not a witch hat. That is
It's
the umbrella. Yeah. Okay. Okay. I was like, who's that extra person?
God, yeah.
All right. So you said the radishes, right? Radishes.
Okay, radishes. All right.
Yeah.
So you don't start sowing radishes until late August through September. They're ready to be picked 30 to 45 days after sowing. So that puts this
October?
right before, this is like right before Halloween.
October.
Yeah. And they're in long sleeves. Everybody's in long sleeves except for Sally. Gary's in long sleeves. Stunning.
I love that dress, by the way.
I do too.
I used to have a skirt like that. Okay.
So this is going into fall now. Good job, Griffin Dunn.
So that much is factual. Okay, so what the fuck happened on the solstice?
I don't know.
What happened there?
I don't know. Okay.
I'm telling you, that witch was like, fuck, maybe that's how she cursed movies. She was like, I'm gonna jumble. She pulled a Jillian. She was like, I'm gonna jumble the facts after this is post production.
Pull the old switcheroo.
I'm gonna change the phone tree. Oh my god.
Okay.
So funny.
What do we got next?
All
What
right.
are we looking at here? So after they poison Jimmy and are riding in the car, when they get back to the kitchen, Nicole Kidman's hairstyle changes back and forth between shots. Sometimes it's parted and pulled slightly behind her ears, and other times it's not. I think that's right. Like after they come out of the motel, isn't her hair like half up, half down?
Let's roll the tape.
Let's roll the tape.
So starting when Sally gets her at the motel.
Yeah.
Blood on the moon.
So her hair is down while they're in the car.
Okay,
hair is down. Okay.
Her hair is
okay.
down here.
Okay. You need to get on that IMDb page and put on the Dunkin' Donuts thing.
Yeah. I'm just gonna link our entire Blood Moon episode on the IMDb page.
This is Jimmy's stupid face.
Look at his stupid ass face.
Okay. I think the whole car ride, her hair is down.
Okay, so her hair's down pretty much up until he passes out on top of her. So now is her hair pulled back here?
No. Just tucked behind her ears.
Okay.
But I think when she gets to the house, like when they're starting to do the spell, does she pull it back? I don't know.
I don't know when it was saying that her hair was pulled back.
When they get out of the car, when they get to the house and are bringing Jimmy inside.
Her hair's still down.
I wonder if they mean like during the spell.
God damn it. It's still down.
We just gotta watch the whole scene. Sometimes it's parted and slightly behind her ears, and others it's not. This one might not be accurate.
Yeah. I didn't notice her hair pulled back, did you?
It just looked like it was tucked behind her ears every now and then.
All right, we can move on. But I mean, like, I don't think it's too far off. Like, she could have had an elastic band on her wrist. Like, when you're in a situation and, like, your hair's getting in your face.
You throw that up in a ponytail so fast.
Yeah, you're going to throw that shit back. Like, if she had to give mouth-to-mouth CPR, you don't think she's going to tie her hair back?
Yeah.
I don't know. All right, so the next one is Officer Hallett comes for breakfast. And when Sally first comes down the stairs, her hair is straight. However, in the next shot and all subsequent shots, her hair is curly.
This is when the humidity comes in. Of like, if it's breakfast, beginning of the day, I know you've gone through the trouble of straightening your hair. And if it's a humid fucking New England day, that hair is going to go wild. Which, what's her name? Sandra Bullock. Has naturally like wavy hair anyway. So, yeah.
Okay, let's see.
That's my thought.
When she comes down the stairs.
It's kind of wavy.
Yeah, it looks like it has a slight wave. It doesn't look completely straight.
Nah.
I'm going to call all these hair ones bullshit.
Yeah, her hair's got a little wave to it.
Yeah.
Which it's not super straight.
Right. Okay.
All right. So when Sally and Jillian first go to live with their aunts, they seem to be wearing velvet dresses as they walk to the gate of their aunt's house. When they get up to the door of the house, about 5 seconds later, to be greeted by their aunts, they are in woolen jackets and skirts, which it looked like in that scene, they just reused the, the set when Sally's little girls walk up to the door. It looked like they reused that footage at the beginning. But yeah, it does look like they.
All right, let's see. When they first get to the house.
And in the books, they do mention having the aunts bringing them woolen jackets because they were coming from California.
All right, so they have so they have on their wait, they're just wearing dresses at this point.
They're just wearing little dresses.
All right, so they have on little black dresses walking up to the gate. The aunts come to greet them. Now, oh wait, no, maybe they are. Maybe
first they're in dresses and then they're in jackets.
Interesting. Are we sure they weren't jackets the whole time?
Hear me out. So they come from California, right? Their parents just died. They don't have any winter clothes, just like in the book. they cut to the girls walking up the lane, just in dresses. You can see like their back a little bit.
Yeah.
And then once the aunts come out, they have these big woolen coats on. What if like you don't see the aunts give them these coats?
Because
Like
the aunts,
welcome.
because the aunts don't have the coats when they're walking out.
But they're magic.
They just appear on them. When they touch them, the wool coats just materialize. Okay, we'll go with that theory, Kristina. That's a good one.
I'm just gonna say how much of a snack their dad is. Did you see the guy? Who's that actor in that scene when they're on the beach?
Also, did his name change from the movie to the books?
I don't think they ever said his name.
They don't say his name?
I wonder what Sally's daughters are wearing when they show up.
Yo, check this out.
Okay.
I think you're right.
They just reused the footage.
They reused the same exact footage. Notice Sally is not behind her little girls in this shot, right? Shouldn't she have been?
She comes up behind them. Keep playing.
No, I know. They show her face close up. But in this shot of them arriving to the house on Magnolia Street, Sally is not in this shot.
But don't you see her walk by? Don't you see like her hip walk by?
Let me see. Hold on. Okay.
There.
Okay. All right. So maybe in the very beginning, when Sally and Jillian are little and they come to Magnolia Street, maybe they didn't get that shot. And maybe this was the only option they had to use this shot of Kylie and Antonia. Maybe they forgot to get an exterior shot of young Jillian and Sally to do the same thing. And then they just put this together in post to make it make sense.
Make it make sense.
Make it make sense.
That's so funny. Cool. All right.
Yeah. Never noticed that before. Same exact shot.
Yeah.
Okay.
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 So that explains why in one shot they have the coats on and one shot they just have dresses on.
Right.
All right. Now it adds up.
Look at all their roses and hydrangeas. Oh my God.
And you notice how in the books when Jillian and Sally, when their parents die and Sally's like, only pack the essentials. That kind of makes sense. They only have Sally has 2 suitcases in her hand. The girls each have 1 suitcase. So literally they had a whole house and a whole life with Michael, but obviously due to the amount of luggage in their hand, they could have more stuff in their car, but
shipped to them.
Yeah, but they only arrived with a couple suitcases. They literally only packed the essentials.
Yeah. I could see Sally not wanting to have anything of that old life.
Yeah.
You know, because even in her room, we've talked about the Owens house episode 4 is her room is so neutral.
Yeah,
and
plain.
void of character of any kind. You don't really see any sentimental things at all.
That mysterious box in the fireplace, which I have a hunch it's Michael's ashes. Just saying, we really don't know what happened to him. Did they never show a funeral scene? They never show him getting buried. We don't know anything about after he died. Was he cremated? We don't know.
We don't know.
But according to that box on that mantle, I'm just going with my own theory that those are Michael's ashes. Those are the only thing in that room that has any sentimental value to Sally.
Yeah. Do you follow Dylan Mulvaney on TikTok?
No.
They transitioned. They still go by Dylan, but she looks like Sandra Bullock to me. I'm like, you are so beautiful.
Really?
You don't understand how cool, how the structure of her, face is just perfect.
I'm gonna go check it out.
Look her up.
I have not been on TikTok in a minute. I'm so off with the TikTok thing.
You're good.
All right, where are we at here? So the next one is when Sally and Jillian drag Jimmy. These are all out of order, by the way. We're hopping all over this movie. When Sally and Jillian drag Jimmy into the house and over to the kitchen table, it has bowls and towels on it. In the next shot, when they lift him up onto the table has nothing on it. Didn't you say that one? You said that was the one that bothered you? Okay.
Yeah. So the next one, I guess, when Gary comes, I keep wanting to call him Gally, Sally and Gary together.
Oh my God.
When Gary comes and is showing Sally the letter, he must tuck it into his shirt pocket twice.
Okay.
I don't remember this, so we're gonna go to the footage.
Let's roll the tape.
Okay, so he takes it out, takes it out of his pocket, shows it to her. She goes to reach for it.
Okay.
He's fingering it. Looking toward the stairs. Tucks it back in his pocket.
Oh yeah.
He's tucking it in his pocket.
That was weird.
That's funny.
All right. Oh. Do you think that was intentional when she hits her head on that thing?
I think so.
Or do you think that was an accident and they just rolled with it?
If they just rolled with it, good on fucking Gary for just keeping it a cool face and just playing with it, because that looked like it hurt.
It did.
Because he restarts his line. He's like, "Good morning, Miss Good morning, Miss Owens." Oh, poor thing.
Good morning, Miss Owens. All right. next.
I think Gary's cute. I
Yeah,
think he's very handsome for
in his own little penal
His-
code sort of way.
yeah. Yeah. All right.
All right. So when
So-
in his room with Sally, he takes off his jacket twice.
Wait.
Or the hotel he stays in on the little main street.
Okay.
I guess when they're in that hotel. Let's see.
Okay, they're in the room. He's cleaning up all the homicide photos on the bed.
So he didn't take his jacket off yet.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Oh.
He took it off the first time. Oh yeah.
Wait a minute.
Did you see it? Look. All right. So he moves the stuff. She picks up the letter. He's still got his jacket on.
Oh, I thought you fast forwarded it.
No. I
Okay,
didn't
wait.
do it.
Okay.
All right, look, he took his jacket off here. Okay.
I see. Okay.
Okay, so he takes his jacket off there. He has a jacket on there. He's taking it off again. What the hell? How have I never noticed this before?
Double layer Gary.
Double
call
layer
him.
Gary. Oh my god. All right.
Okay.
All right. Here we go.
So when the sisters cut their hands, Jillian hugs Sally and puts her hand flat on Sally's back. When she moves her hand, there is no blood on the robe. I always
added.
thought she had almost a closed fist like this on her
Okay.
back of her.
Also, I don't know if this is in the notes. It's probably somewhere in here, but I read this somewhere before. When she asks her boyfriend to give him her pocket knife, he's already reaching into his pocket before she even asks him.
Right.
Yeah. All right. So she's cutting the hand with the bracelets on it. Her right
Okay.
hand.
Her
Right?
right hand.
Her right
and
hand.
Sally's left hand.
And Sally's left hand. All right. So yeah, it could be a closed fist. Oh no. It's flat. It's flat here.
It's flat.
That's flat there.
It's flat.
But like, don't you think if she grabbed onto the railing, there would have been blood on it?
Yeah.
So that's
the other
also-
thing about this scene, it's probably later down. I wrote it later down. I know it's a pact, right? But it's like blood sisters, but they're already blood relation.
Yeah.
Have you ever done that with anyone?
No.
Oh, so I have.
Blood?
And
No.
I was not brave enough to cut myself or them, so they had to do both.
Ugh.
Cut my hand and then cut yours, and it was snow, it was winter.
Ew.
And
No.
I remember we did that and then put the snow on it to
Ugh.
kind of wash it off. And then their dad found out and he was like, don't do that. That's how you spread
That's how you
disease.
Spread diseases. You know what's funny? I was actually watching The Divine Secrets of the Yaya Sisterhood, another Sandra Bullock movie, by the way. And at the end, you know how they do the blood pact in the
Mhm.
beginning? They do it again at the end. Now when Sandra Bullock's character is much older and her mom and the sisters of the Yaya, all the old ladies, I love them. They're all so adorable.
Maggie Smith, come
Maggie Smith.
on.
The best. She reminds me of my grandma Joan. God rest her soul.
Oh.
So they actually do that. They cut themselves at the end and they prompt Sandra Bullock's character, I forget her name, to do it as well. And
Italy.
she goes, don't you guys know that's how diseases spread or something like that? And
That's
I'm like,
so
but you
cute.
did it as Sally in fucking Practical.
She does a good Southern accent.
Yeah, she plays a good Southern belle.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's the only thing about that balcony scene. I feel like the blood should have shown up on the railing if that was her blood hand.
Yeah, because it was kind of pumping out of there pretty good. It wasn't just like a paper cut.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. All right. So the next one. In the garden, when Officer Hallett and Sally first meet, Sally is wearing a watch on her left wrist. When Sally looks at Officer Hallett's badge, we can see her reflection and she is not wearing the watch. But when the scene continues, she is wearing the watch again.
Okay. Why is he walking in the dirt? Why aren't you walking on the path?
He avoided that path at all costs.
That bluestone path, man.
Yeah.
Okay, see the watch.
Mm-hmm. No watch.
No watch.
And now
Interesting.
watch.
And now watch.
Yeah, that is interesting. Do you
All
think
right.
he has a watch on for the rest of this scene?
I think so.
Let's see. There's the watch.
Huh.
There's the watch.
Okay. Disappearing.
Interesting. Yeah, she still has the watch on.
Let's go back to the motel. All right. So when Sally and Gary are talking in his motel room, he is wearing a plaid shirt, which you can see him. It's a dark plaid when he goes into the motel. And after she leaves, we see him looking out the window and he's wearing a white shirt. I've never noticed that.
What?
Is it because I thought they were undressing each other? Do you think she took off the
Oh.
plaid shirt?
Let's see. All right, so
Let's
he's got
see.
a plaid shirt on. Okay, let's see. Wait, when does it say he has the white shirt on?
After she leaves and he's looking out the window?
Oh, when she hears the voices coming from the house, maybe.
Okay.
All right, so he's got the plaid shirt on through this whole scene.
Or maybe when he shows up here.
But still, it's the same afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so now she goes back to the house, right? She's walking back to the house. She's still got the same outfit on. So we
Mhm.
know that's the same afternoon. All right. She's hearing the voices. She's running back to the house. He's got a white shirt on.
With some pearl snap buttons.
All
Cute.
right. So
Okay. Wow, I've
he
never seen that.
rushes back. Let's see. Does he have the white shirt on when he gets to the attic to save the day? Or does
is
he
it
have
plaid
the
again?
shirt again?
Okay, so see how she comes up the stairs.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out where Gary fucking comes from.
Yeah.
Because she's walking toward where like around that corner?
Yeah. What? He's got the white shirt on.
Okay.
So you're telling me
He
that
comes up from behind her on her left, around the corner.
Yeah.
There's those spiral stairs. We're going to talk about this in the Victorian architecture episode in May. So those spiral stairs are the only ones that go up to the attic. You know, the big stairs that are in the main foyer,
Yeah.
those would only go up to the second floor because back in the day, those were the main family stairs, and those back stairs would have been the help that
Okay.
would have gone up to the attic where they would have slept.
Got it.
It has access to the whole house, but those foyer stairs don't go to the attic. So I don't know where the fuck Gary came from.
Interesting. Very interesting.
Interesting.
All right. All right. So he's still got this white shirt on. So as soon as Sally leaves, he just felt the need to change button down shirts.
He felt dirty.
He felt
Talk dirty to me.
he felt dirty tumbling around with a witch. Right. So this next one is the close-up of the spinning stir stick shows Sally covering it with her left hand. In the next shot, she is hiding it with her right hand. So is this talking about when she's in the verbena shop?
Yes.
Let's roll the tape.
We should have put these in order.
Yeah. All right. So she's got the coffee in her right hand right now. Okay. Still in her right hand. The product doesn't work.
Covering with left.
Now
it's
she's
her right
switched.
hand.
Switched to the right.
Are you sure? Like maybe she put her left hand and then covered that with her right? You don't think maybe both her hands are on?
They don't show it though.
No, they don't.
Yeah, I don't know.
Mm.
That's a quick change of shots. So
Look at that hair on that woman behind them.
oh my goodness. She looks like an Alasa Opso.
You know who that is?
Who's that?
That's Darlene.
That's Darlene. Dude, I didn't know Darlene was in this movie. Look, she even has on her denim jumper or whatever that is under that sweater.
That hair.
That's hysterical.
All right.
Oh my God.
What do we got next?
I never noticed that woman before. Next.
So, when Sally is on her way to the store for the first time, you can see her wearing a green dress with no socks. Although Sally is still wearing a green dress when she walks in the store, after she sees her children in the window, she is wearing a white dress with flowers on it and socks.
Let me dissect this a minute. So she's on her way to the store for the first time. This is
Opening
right
up
after she comes out of that funk that she's in after Michael dies, right?
Yes.
Okay.
That grief.
Yeah. Okay. So right here, I'm guessing.
Oh, yeah, because she's wearing like black shoes.
Yeah.
Black, like chunky heel shoes.
Yeah. So she's got on a green dress, green sweater. She's very green.
She a Virgo.
Black shoes.
Clogs. Are those clogs?
Clogs.
No, they're not clogs.
Okay. She's got on the same outfit here. Oh, yeah. Different outfit.
Whoa.
Completely different outfit.
Whoa.
Unless this is suggesting that there was a passage of time.
I don't think so. They're in the same outfits.
They're in the same outfit. Carla and what's her name? Linda Bennett. Yeah, they're in the same outfit. So maybe it wasn't a passage of time.
Why did they change her clothes mid-scene?
I don't know. Dude, it's like the costume / set designer, whoever was responsible for it, gave no fucks. They were like,
put her in
continuity don't mean shit. It's fine.
She looks great and everything.
Yeah. Also, did you ever notice that this girl with the lunchbox right here and the purple shirt, this kid, she must have been following director's cues because like when the kids cross the street, she's the only one that kind of like stops like deadpan and just kind of like looks like she's following director's orders, like she second guesses herself, like she has no idea what the fuck she's doing. Check this out.
Let me see.
Right.
Are you sure it's not because she's a child and she's
no. Just watch.
Her street.
She just stops. Like
she's
she was trying to reach her mark. She was trying to make her mark or something. Yeah.
Sally's outfit though, completely different. Not as good.
Completely different.
Okay. What about the shoes?
Do they show her shoes from this point on?
Oh, she is wearing socks.
Okay. Yeah.
Wow.
All right. Did you notice that in that scene, Antonia is wearing her mouse ears? I think mouse ears, right? And a tail?
Mm-hmm.
Kylie, because she says in that previous scene, she's like, she drives around with her mouse ears all liquored up.
Mm-hmm.
And I love how she has on her mouse ears in like that next scene.
I don't think she wears them for the rest of the movie though.
No,
No,
she does. Yeah.
Interesting.
Cute. All right. So Sally goes to get Jimmy's bottle of tequila to tempt him when they were trying to exorcise him from Jillian. But when Sally realized the tequila was Jimmy's when they were drinking midnight margaritas, she threw it in the sink and the bottle broke. So there was no bottle of tequila at the house.
We talked about this.
We did talk about this.
Oh, yeah.
They wouldn't have bought Jimmy's special brand to have on hand for margaritas. When Sally asks the aunts where the bottle came from, they say, or rather sing, "Someone left it on the porch. Someone left it on
the porch.
porch." Yeah, so then, however she throws it in the sink after they say someone left it on the porch, it's very clearly broken at that point and wouldn't be available to tempt Jimmy. So,
Right.
major plot hole.
Yeah. So we talked about how we can just reiterate for those people who don't go in order, right?
Yeah.
That like that's his way of like creeping his way back into the house because we speculated that they might have initially when they got to the house with Jimmy's dead body possibly left it in the car, right? I don't know why you wouldn't just like throw that out a window. Like don't litter people, but like that is incriminating evidence. So you would want to get rid of that so they
especially since it had poison in it.
Right. So they get back to the house.
Wait a minute.
With or without the bottle.
Hold on.
We don't see it until midnight margaritas.
I just thought of something else.
What?
If that same bottle had the poison in it, why didn't Jet and Francis or even the girls die or fall the fuck asleep? They were drinking that shit all night.
I know. Maybe that's why, like, not only is Jillian's like reaction to like, oh shit, my ex-boyfriend, it's oh shit, we have been drinking belladonna.
Yeah.
Ooh, no. Oh boy.
If that shit was the same shit, that same exact bottle they poisoned Jimmy with, why were they fine after drinking that, like guzzling that shit all night?
Right. Oh, god dang.
How did we never pick that up before?
Well, we are now. That's why this is our job.
Yeah.
Okay. Whew. Okay.
Yeah. Oh my God.
All right. When Sally writes to her sister and says she's been married for 3 years, but her daughters are clearly older than that. In the consequent montage, they're running around the yard and dancing in the living room. If they've only been married for 3 years, then the daughters would still be toddlers. But here's the thing, like, you don't have to be married to have a child. Like, they could have had that kid pretty soon after and then gotten married. But also, it's like to show the passage of time, you know? I think they were together a lot longer.
You think so?
Before he died.
I don't know. I always thought it was implied that they were only together for those 3 years. I don't know.
So when the girls are little and they're running around the yard, that to me is like, maybe they could have been together around 3 years, but then like to show the passing of time when they're dancing around the living room. It's like that. I don't know.
Were the girls, hold on, let's see.
The girls are older because Evan Rachel Wood is in the living room with them.
Right. Because there's also a scene when they're going through the center of town on tricycles and the girls appear to be a lot younger than they were when they were dancing around in the living room. So I'm guessing that they were trying to depict a passage of time. Okay. This is when she starts talking about her marriage, right? The girls are running around the yard. They're clearly very little at this point.
Yeah. They're still little there.
But they're a little older than they were when they were running around in the yard. And now at this point, they're old enough to be dancing around a room. So definitely a passage of time.
That's the room that Sally ends up ripping up.
Yeah. All right. I think it makes sense. I don't know. I think that they were trying to just squish a lot of time into a small little montage. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So the next one is during the exorcism when Jilly and Jimmy. Oh, okay. So this is when Jimmy's has taken over Jillian's body, Jimmy's spirit, and she's being exorcised. She's blown back from the edge of the circle. The women are holding the brooms, but in the immediate next slow-mo shot, the brooms are all laid on the floor. But then in the next shot, the women are holding them at waist height again.
Yeah, I remember like when she gets like thrown back, like a couple of them like bring their hands to their face, like, you know.
Yeah. All right, let's see. Does this mean after this? Because it says when she's blown back, right?
Oh, they're on the floor. All the brooms are on the floor.
Oh, shit.
Nobody's holding brooms. Nobody's holding brooms. They're on the floor. Now they're all back in the circle with holding the brooms.
What the hell, man? Did nobody care about continuity in this? Whoever was in charge of continuity?
We love this movie.
No, I know.
Don't get us wrong. It's just when it's all laid out on like one page, you're like, wow, that's a lot.
There's a lot here. Yeah.
When the women gather for the circle, the first shot is of Sally, who is standing next to Aunt Jet. And the next and subsequent shots, Sally is standing next to Aunt Frances.
All right. So there's Aunt Frances. She's next to Jet right now.
So who did they replace her with? Who is standing now in her place? Oh, my pigtail girl is in her place.
Oh yeah.
Are we supposed to say this?
Did you notice that Jillian has the blue ribbon around her sleeves?
Oh,
Was she wearing that while she was being possessed by Jimmy, or did they put her in those clothes?
I think she had that on when she like hugs Sally and Sally knocks her out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking, like, wouldn't it be some shit if they put her in that to ensure she had extra protection
Oh, I
during
love
this
that.
during this whole exorcism
I love that a
process?
lot.
All right, let's go to the next one.
All right.
All right, so the next one is when Jillian, Sally, and Gary are talking about the ring that came out of the toad. The ring is first in between Gary's fingers and then appears on his index finger and alternates between shots of him and Jillian.
It's not on his index finger at all.
What? All right, that one doesn't check out.
Okay.
Do you feel like that one checked out? I don't think.
No, he's holding it between his thumb and his index finger, but it's kind of like just on top of his thumb.
Yeah,
It's not really changing position.
It seemed consistent through that whole scene, I feel like.
I like this one. This next one, when Sally and Gary are in the room and she's being interrogated, she drops her keys when they start to make out, and then when she leaves, she doesn't pick them back up again. She never goes to get her car keys.
Oh shit.
You hear them, drop and hit the floor.
I never noticed that. Wait, does she have them in her hand while she's walking there?
Yeah.
Okay. Also, why does she grab her car keys if she walked there?
Unless, like, we talked about her going to Verbena for the first time, unless she, like, parked down the street and has to walk because there's no parking on that street.
Okay. But then, like, why does she walk back to the house then if she took her car?
Right. What?
Like, that doesn't make sense.
There's no need for these car keys.
There's no
They don't
need
serve
for
a plot point at all.
Right. And it's not like she needed them to get in the house because she broke the goddamn glass when she slammed the door. She could just reach back in and unlock the fucking door.
I know. And her kids are home.
Yeah.
The aunts are home. No, the aunts aren't home. Are the aunts home? Yeah.
Were the aunts home at this point?
Yeah.
I don't think they are.
Oh.
No, they don't come back till the very end when Jillian's possessed and Aunt Jet goes, "Well, it seems we've arrived in the nick of time." And then doesn't Aunt Frances go, "Our instincts are a little rusty," or something?
Wait a minute. Sally leaves the motel and is walking, and then she hears Kylie or Antonia say "mommy."
Yes.
And she rips home. Yes. She goes up the stairs.
Yes.
Jillian's already being possessed.
Yes.
Jillian's already in it.
Yes.
Right? I'm just confused because, like, she's already, like, heaving out of the bed. I guess show me the scene.
Wait, your question is, were the aunts there when all that stuff was going down?
Right.
They're not.
Okay.
They had already left when they found the bottle of the tequila and they crashed it in the sink. They were like, "We're out. We're gonna
Okay, so in my mind, I'm like, Sally knows she's already, like, being possessed, right? When she sees her sister and they see Jimmy come out of her, they see him, like, go to the ceiling because of the star. After that scene, that's when Gary and Sally have, like, their heart to heart, like, "I wish for you too." And then Sally goes back inside, and you're right. That's when I was like, how did Jillian get from the bed to being knocked out to the aunts coming home? But that was the segue scene of Sally going back in the house. Jillian had already come downstairs, hugs her, and then licks her face.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I was like, when did these aunts fucking come home and save the day?
Yeah, and then she knocks her into that cupboard of wool, and it all falls to the ground, and then the aunts come home and see Jillian on the ground.
I just felt like just then I was that fucking meme of, wait, hold on, her sister was a witch.
I love that friggin' video. So funny. We'll have to link that.
I apologize. I needed to, like, work out the sequence of scenes. I was like, what happened?
Isn't it crazy how many times we've seen this movie, like, combined between the both of us, and we're still like, wait, what happened?
And the thing is, those, like, back to back are such short scenes.
Yeah.
So I got confused.
Yeah. They're just a bunch of little segue scenes that all add up to the big picture.
Yeah. Thank you. Oh, my heart hurts.
All right. What's next here? So, okay. So back to the keys. We didn't look at. She drops her keys. What? Yeah. So why did she ever need these freaking keys? She never needed these keys. She walked there. There were people home. Jillian was home. The girls were home. So she never needed these goddamn keys. But let's watch this scene. All right. So she walks in. Does she have the keys? Her arms are folded. They might be in that one hand. Okay, well, they're not in that one because she just reaches for a picture. No, she doesn't even have the keys in her hand. She's holding the picture with both hands.
Oh, there they are.
You see them?
Are they tucked in her waist?
Well, she doesn't have them in her hand. Where'd she put her keys when she got in the door? They don't even show her put them down, right?
It's not like she put them on that table.
No.
Walking in. All right, get to the making out.
Yeah. All right, so she goes over to the table. She's got the letter in her hand still. Where are the goddamn keys? Wait, do they show her with the keys while they're making out?
I think he kisses her and she drops them.
But she has them in her hand, right?
Yeah.
But she didn't have them in her hand during this whole letter scene.
Hey, there's the white shirt behind him on the chair.
Oh. So do you think that they were insinuating that he changed his he was changing his clothes after she was going to leave anyway? All right, so then there is a little bit of a connection there with the white shirt. All right, she still don't have no keys. Did you notice that little smile she gives him, like right before he kisses her?
She's not even holding her keys there.
No, there are no keys still.
Did you hear them drop?
No.
I'm so confused.
Still no keys. Are they even on the bed? I don't
Right,
see
like maybe they get like knocked off the bed.
Yeah, I don't even see them anywhere. There's the one green eye, one blue. That's the tape recorder next to her on the bed. No keys.
Okay.
Is she walking back with the keys? No.
We can't tell. Keys are gone.
Keys are gone.
Keys are gone. White shirt Gary.
White shirt Gary. Interesting. No goddamn keys.
All right, what do we got next?
All right. During the opening sequence, Maria's hanging rope changes length, and the tightness of the rope around her neck also changes after she lands.
Okay. I love how you just sort of like fuck it with these pop-ups.
Yeah.
The noose part is pretty horizontal to her body. It's pretty loose.
Yeah, it's pretty loose right now.
Pretty loose.
Oh, also, real quick, this lady, I think she was in another scene.
You do?
I think she was an extra, right? But she plays an extra from the 1600s, but then she also plays an extra in current day Maria's Island.
Cool. Okay.
I think. I feel like I've seen her in another, I saw her in another scene, but I could be wrong.
Do you know the movie Bill and Ted?
Yeah.
I don't know the actor's name. Not Keanu Reeves, the other one. Doesn't she look like the other guy?
Pauly Shore?
No, it's not Pauly Shore. That's not his
Pauly
name.
Shore?
He's a blonde guy.
Wait, what am I thinking of? Wasn't
You're
Pauly
thinking
Shore?
of like Encino Man.
Yes. Okay.
I
Yeah.
love Encino Man.
Okay.
Anyway, she has
All
the
right.
same face. Like,
All right. All right. So keep this lady in mind. I think she's in another scene, and we'll jump to it in a minute.
the lady who mouths the word witch.
Yeah.
Do you think John Proctor is there that day? The rope still looks the same to me.
He had to. Oh,
Not John Proctor.
Hathorn.
Hathorn.
I think that was him right there.
Yeah.
Okay, so the rope is still
Oh.
kind of the same, no?
Yeah. That hair in her nose always bothered me. It looks like she's like trying to
Try not to sneeze.
act hyperventilative to blow it out of the way. That scene, it did look a lot looser
Yeah.
when she jumped.
All right. I think it's a stretch though. That's so like subtle.
Let's see what it looks like now.
All
And
right.
wouldn't if she had jumped, I feel like that rope would have tightened around her neck. Even if the rope broke in the middle, it would still have had to tighten a little bit.
Maybe.
All right.
Well, if we're going with the situation with how the rope broke in the book, we know that Samuel Diaz, didn't he kind of like wear the rope away in the middle so that it wouldn't tighten at all?
It was like a rope from his ship, and he was hoping that the salt from the sea had deteriorated the fibers enough for it to break on its own, right?
So if it had broken in the middle on its own, the noose part, it wouldn't have gotten to the noose part in time for it to have tightened around her neck, right?
Okay.
I don't know. I think this scene might be a little bit of a stretch as far as a goofs
All right.
or error goes.
How about this
Um,
next one? All right. In the scene where they're drinking tequila and Jillian is asking about where they got it from, her braid moves from front to back over her shoulder several times without her moving them.
Hold on, wait. I'm looking for that lady. I wanted to see if that lady was in another. I feel like I
That is
saw
going
her.
to take you forever.
I think it might be when Gary comes to town and the townspeople are talking to him. I think in one of those scenes, if I remember correctly. This lady right here. Does that look like the same?
Oh, yeah. Look
Wait.
at her.
Does she show her face more? Is that her?
That is her. That is her. Awesome catch.
What's her name? What's her name?
I don't know.
Timestamp, everybody. 1 hour and 2 minutes and 26 seconds, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's her. She's in a blue denim shirt or something. And she's the same lady in the beginning that mouths the word witch. I just thought that was funny. I was like, hey, that's the same lady. Is that not the same lady? She's got a
It is the same lady.
very distinct facial
Oh.
features. Okay. All right. So the one after that. After placing the boyfriend on the table, the boyfriend, Jimmy,
The boyfriend.
Jillian unbuttons his shirt and cuts his undershirt. In the next shot of the boyfriend, his undershirt is uncut and the shirt is buttoned up. I did notice that before when we were looking at that scene.
Oh, okay. When the witches are all jumping off the roof at the very end of the movie, you can see one of their feet steps right to the edge of the roof on the iron ledge. But when the camera shows them all in front, they're clearly standing behind a low iron barrier.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Safety.
Yeah. In the scene when the women are in the circle near the end of the film, Sally notices that the spell is hurting Jillian and tells the others to stop it. She does this while standing still in her place. In the next shot, she has ran halfway around the circle and returns to her place, even though we never see her move. The background music also jumps at this point as well.
Oh, weird.
Yeah.
I wonder if she would have gotten to run so she could be face to face with Jillian, you know? If where she was positioned, she couldn't look at Jillian's face.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Okay. Okay.
So during the kidnapping/murder scenes, Jillian's makeup swings back and forth between running down her face and being perfectly applied.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, in one scene her like eye makeup is smeared and the next one it's like not, right?
You wouldn't just take like the sleeve of your shirt and like
Right.
wipe it away.
Yeah, I think people are forgetting about like things that you would actually do in real life.
Yeah. Like a subconscious, you don't even think about it.
Right.
This next one has always bothered me.
Oh, there would be no sunset on the ocean if they were on the East Coast. It would be sunrise.
Right. Yeah.
Interesting.
Okay. So, crew and equipment visibility. So, after Sally has put her letter to Jillian in the mailbox, and you can see her running back into the house to answer the phone, you can see a piece of equipment that is projecting light on Sandra Bullock. I've never noticed that.
I never noticed that either.
Can we watch that one?
Yeah, let's see. That?
Holy cow! I thought that was a piece of the house. That did not even register as lighting equipment. Oh my
That's
goodness.
a screen, dude. That's a lighting screen.
Good catch.
I've
Your
never-
Oz game is really improved.
I've never noticed that before.
Wow.
Holy crap.
Cool.
All right.
Never
Noticed it. All right, next one. When the coven of women are attempting to exorcise Jimmy's spirit, the equipment which causes the picture on the wall to move, the ones which the children supposedly removed prior to this scene, is visible. Oh my god.
I've never noticed like when you can tell like that rectangle of the wall is like pushing in and out, and I always thought that was weird. I was like, is there supposed to be like a reason for that?
Yeah. All right, so let's see.
It's like when they zoom in on Franny's face.
Do you see equipment?
Yeah, okay, see on the right side of Franny's neck, there's just like a hole in the wall that will flutter open and shut.
Oh. It's very subtle.
Uh-huh.
Very subtle.
I could have sworn there was one where it was way more evident. Keep going. Let's see.
Are there more pictures that fall?
Do they do another close-up of Franny's face at all? Yeah, right there.
Oh, I see it. That's
Flappity
funny.
flap flap.
Flappity flap flap. Yeah.
All right.
Hold on. Okay, so was there supposed to be a painting over that flap?
Yeah.
Okay. So it pushes the painting off the wall, but we continue to see the flap, right?
I thought it was just supposed to like knock the picture around to look like the picture. I think it was accidentally knocked off.
Okay. But it is knocked off here.
Yeah.
All right. But in the previous scene, we still see the picture behind Franny's head.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that one falls on the left.
So there's looks like there should have been 3 pictures. There's the one falling, the one hanging, and then already an empty space.
Right.
Weird.
So, all right. So the one on the left falls. The one right behind her head is still there.
Mm-hmm.
The one that was supposed to be there, was it there right then? It's there. Now it's behind her where the flap is.
All right. So the factual errors involving the town that it was filmed in the end credits, the town name is misspelled. Apparently, the producers thanked the town of Coupeville, but they left out the first E. So I guess they spelled it Coupville when it's spelled Coupeville.
Yeah.
No shits were given.
Exactly. Like, who was overseeing all of this stuff in the movie?
Mm-hmm.
The next factual error is the night of the murder. There are several very prominent shots of and verbal references to a full moon. Only 4 evenings later, as the murder is being investigated, Sally looks out at a very thin first quarter crescent moon. In reality, such a moon would not appear until more than 2 weeks after a full moon.
But that's the thing. Like, we don't know how long it's been. We don't know that it's been only 4 evenings later.
Mm-hmm.
It could have been 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
All right.
Okay, so revealing mistakes. After the exorcism, Sally and Jillian take the cauldron from 2 women. It has been taken from the stove and they are holding it with cloths. When they go out to tip it over the grave, Jillian is holding the bottom of the cauldron in order to tip it over.
She would burn her hand.
Gone. Burnt to a sizzle.
Ouch. All right, so the next one is when Jillian first leaves, right before she and Sally cut their hands, she asks her, oh, we said this one already. She asks her boyfriend for a pocket knife and he reaches to his pocket before she asks him what she needs. And then this is the last one for revealing mistakes. It says near the end, when all the women are standing in a circle with brooms end to end, in one scene, it shows the pictures on the wall bouncing around. One shot shows the wall going in and out without the picture on it. You can see the obvious sheetrock perfectly cut out to match the picture that's not there going in and out, which we just talked about. And then you have this last one, right? That you put
Which
this
I
in.
already said earlier.
Yeah. Blood oath. They're already blood relatives. Why do they need to do a blood oath? I don't know. I was just thinking like she needed to give Sally something in that moment to hold on to, like something that she could promise her that she'll be back.
Mhm.
And I guess the extreme way to do that when you're a witch is to shed some blood. I don't know. That's the only thing I can think of.
Jillian's just very dramatic.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Sally is so trusting.
I know, right? Well, she wants to believe that her sister is, gonna come through and is being honest with her that she'll be back. They're supposed to die on the same day.
Oh.
All right. So that is all we have for errors, mistakes, visible equipment.
If there are any y'all have picked up we didn't cover, send them in.
I'm sure there's more. All right, so next up is trivia.
All right, guys, we're going to take a short break. When we come back, we're going to tell you all about the trivia, and most of this comes from creepycatalog.com, and Justina's going to do a shuffle and a pull from the Grounded by the Moon Inner Witch Oracle deck, practical magic inspired. So stick around and we'll be right back. You're listening to the Magnolia Street Podcast.
Hey, we're back. We're about to pull a card from the Inner Witch Oracle. Here we go. I'm just going to shuffle. Tell me when to stop.
Okay. Stop. Oh my goodness. Okay. The Sparrow.
Sparrow. Have we pulled this one before?
I don't think so.
All right. So the keyword on this card is trouble.
Okay.
So Sparrow equals trouble. Trouble, but also challenges. So when the Sparrow comes up, the divine is telling you to prepare and pay attention. With this card comes turbulent and unstable energy. There may be some current issues or struggles on the horizon. Prepare and learn from these issues and events. With struggle and challenge comes great knowledge and growth. You can overcome this. Known in most folklore as messengers, this tiny bird is something to pay attention to. Learn from this steadfast creature and buckle down. To better connect with this card, utilize its energy, a candle, pen, and piece of paper. Write the affirmation on the paper, carry it with you, or leave on your altar. When you are ready, tear your paper and burn it. And the mantra on this card is, I embrace the chaos and learn from any struggles.
I love that for this episode.
Yeah. Yeah.
They surely did struggle.
Quite a bit. Yeah. So is the bird in the movie, is that a dove or is it a sparrow?
That's what I was thinking too. I was like, I thought he was making this after the movie. But
right.
The sparrow is not in the movie at all.
No. Was there a sparrow in the books?
Yeah. Yeah, the sparrow that flies around 3 times.
That's right. That's right. You know what? Now that I think about it, I think he was actually pulling from the books too.
Okay, cool.
Because in this deck, there's an aura card. And when I first got this deck, I hadn't read the first book in years, like probably like a good 20 years, right?
Okay.
So I was like, I did a YouTube video on it and I mentioned the aura card and how I was confused, like what auras have to do with the movie. And he actually commented on my video and he was like, read the books. It's in the books. So I reread the book and then I was like, oh, got it. Okay. Yeah. So I'm thinking he pulled from both the books and the movie while creating this deck.
Awesome.
Yeah. So yeah, this card could very well be referencing the sparrow that they chase out on the solstice.
The struggles that make you who you are. It makes for a good story.
Yeah, man. It's through your struggles that you are able, like, just like this says, you're able to learn and grow from, and it eventually makes you who you are, like the person that you're supposed to be. You become who you are through all of the struggles you endure and come through and are able to grow from. So
Exactly.
I
What's
love
that
that.
saying? Even broken crayons still color.
broken crayons still color, and also a lotus grows through the mud. You ever hear that? Did you ever read Gold? Are you a Goldie Hawn fan? I love Goldie Hawn. She reminds me of my grandma for some reason. A
Oh,
lot of people remind me of my grandma.
yeah.
She's one of them. And she has a biography or an autobiography. Yeah, I think she wrote it herself. And it's called A Lotus Grows Through the Mud.
I love that.
Yeah.
Hey, put it on our Goodreads.
Yeah, put it on Goodreads. It's a really good book. I love reading biographies. I just think celebrities' lives are so fascinating to me. I want to know how they all got where they got to today, like what they went through to get to where they are today, you know?
Oh, wait. The Lotus Grows in the Mud. Okay. By Goldie Hawn.
Yeah, it's a good book. Good book. It talks a lot about her, you know, coming up in Hollywood and how she got to acting.
Goldie Hawn has written 5 books.
Has she?
Golly.
I had no idea. Are we ready to bring
Reference
out some
sources.
trivia?
I'm ready. Let's some trivia on map.
All right, so some of these might be from IMDb, and then some of these are from creepycatalog.com, right? I think these are kind of like a mumbo jumbo of both of those sites.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Okay. You want to kick us off? You're drinking
I'd
your
love
tea
to.
whiskers?
Oh my God. Yesterday, when I was marcoing you, I was in the greenhouse talking to Justina, just doing my thing, finished my Marco. I'm so rural. Like any noise out of the ordinary, I'm like, what the fuck? And I kept hearing this fucking noise. Like, where is this coming from? I had left a LaCroix on the shelf next to me, but it was still bubbling like 45 minutes later. And I was like, where the fuck is this noise coming from? So it was a literal surprise demon whisper situation.
So it was just sitting there on your shelf like, Kristina.
Uh-huh.
That's funny.
It's like, you're doing it wrong, you stupid bitch.
And you're like, who's talking to me?
Who's talking to me? Is that you, Satan? It's me, Kristina.
Is that you, Satan? Oh my God.
Okay. So
Funny.
this one's pretty well known about the tequila in the movie. First, it starts off as margaritas, straight margaritas, and then they go straight for the tequila shots. But according to Sandra Bullock in the commentary, in the scene when they're all getting drunk around the table and slinging insults, and like you can see Sandra Bullock like getting like bouncing in her chair, and I feel like we have all been at that point where you're like, I'm about to piss myself because I'm laughing so hard.
Yeah.
But apparently they were actually really drinking tequila during that scene that Nicole Kidman brought to them, thinking like it was like the good stuff. And Sandra Bullock's like, this is shit tequila. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's funny. I wonder, was that whole scene improv'd? Do you know?
I don't think so.
You think that was scripted? That whole, we had to bind your legs with molasses to get your legs to open up.
I think so. I guess when we do our script episode, we'll be able to see if there's changes.
Ooh, I cannot wait to do that. That's going to be so much fun. All right, so the next one, we've talked about this before, but if you're just joining us now, the entire house was a specially built architectural shell that was torn down after the filming. It was built on rented land, and even the blossoms on the trees are fake. They were made of silk.
Amazing.
The
Go listen
wisteria
to
and
episode,
everything.
4?
Yeah, I think so.
Episode 4 on Spotify. Sorry, Apple listeners, it's not on Apple because we included a song, and it was before we really knew what we were doing with Anchor. So we're sorry, but go check out episode 4 for more house trivia.
Yeah.
So there was an unexpected issue that Griffin Dunn encountered was the number of takes that lead actresses needed to complete each scene. So Sandra Bullock would generally finish in 2 or 3 takes. However, Nicole Kidman, who had just spent the previous 18 months working on a Stanley Kubrick film, Eyes Wide Shut in 1999, was now used to doing 70 or 80 takes to getting a scene right.
That's nuts.
That's the one with Tom Cruise, Eyes Wide Shut?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Was Stanley Kubrick also The Shining?
He was director of The Shining and Clockwork Orange, which I don't like. Shining is good. I like that movie.
But this just goes back to, I'm pretty sure we talked about this on a previous episode, Shelley Duvall.
Oh, yeah.
And we know what happened to Shelley Duvall. Like, she went through a mental breakdown after doing The Shining because of Stanley Kubrick. Apparently, he was really cruel to her on the set.
Well, if he's having his actors do 70 to 80 takes.
That could, oh my God. And being a psychological thriller, putting her in that mental headspace for however long the filming of that was.
Wasn't Eyes Wide Shut a thriller also?
Yeah, it was. But Nicole Kidman, she had a very minimal part.
What? Oh, I've never seen it, but isn't she on the cover?
No, yeah. But also, I think maybe the cover was kind of portrayed that way because they were an item at the time. They probably did that to sell movie tickets or whatever. This is just my own theory.
Interesting.
Because in the
Okay.
movie, like, yeah, Nicole Kidman's in, you know, a pretty decent portion. Like, she's in the movie a lot because she plays Tom Cruise's wife, but it's mostly about Tom Cruise's character.
Okay. I've
And
never
his-
seen it.
And his kind of foray into like this like dark underground, I don't know,
Thing?
culty sex club. Yeah.
Sounds like my kind of party.
I was always confused. Like after I actually had seen the movie, I was like, that's weird that they put her on the cover because like I feel like she doesn't really have like a big part like they're making it seem like. Like I thought the whole thing was about him and Nicole Kidman's characters together in the sex club. It is not.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's another video cover. Have you ever seen Lawn Dogs?
No. Does the cover just have like nothing to do with the movie?
Yeah. What the hell's that guy's name? Fucking Sam Rockwell. Sam Rockwell's in it. Young Sam Rockwell. And like another woman on the cover that barely has like 20 lines.
Right.
I'm like, but why?
Yeah.
Whatever.
I don't know. It's weird. But yeah, I was just referring to The Shining because Shelley Duvall, I remember watching like some kind of like interview with her and how like Stanley Kubrick would make her do the scene over and over and over again and put her in that mental headspace. And it just like drove her nuts. And that's, you know, she's still suffering long-term mental illness from doing that movie.
It's incredible what actors are like able to do. Cause even in this movie, it said that the possession scene, like Jillian did it exactly like with as much energy every single time.
Wasn't the floors made of rubber because she was like thrashing around and shit?
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
But I can't imagine giving it 100%. It reminds me of you ever see like the behind the scenes stuff for Mamma Mia?
No.
Like I guess when Meryl Streep was singing The Winner Takes It All, she was singing it at Pierce Brosnan like every time.
Wow.
Like, wow, impressive.
Does this say it in the notes below somewhere? But like, didn't she actually, Nicole Kidman in Practical Magic, during that scene, didn't she actually get a concussion?
I think so. Yeah, I think we have
from
that
like
in here
hitting
somewhere.
her head because she was like just going crazy. She was giving that scene her all.
She was giving Griffin Dunn the Kubrick method.
Kubrick method.
All right.
Okay.
What we got?
All right. So according to co-writer Akiva Goldsman, the director's cut was a darker take on the material. Due to the marketing of Warner Brothers and extensive editing, it finally ended up a different version. Goldsman lost his copy of the original cut.
On YouTube, you can find an interviewer asking Akiva Goldsman about that cut.
Yeah.
If we can find the link, we will put it in our show notes.
Do you remember what he said about it?
He had been saying just that it was much darker. There was much more between, I think, Sally and like possessed Jillian during that part, but I'm not sure.
We'll link it below. I'm sure we'll talk about it more in depth on a future episode if we ever get around to it, but that would be something cool to deep dive on, that interview, and just kind of talking about that lost copy or that lost edit.
Akiva, what the fuck? How do you lose that? How do you lose a copy?
Where'd it go? Someone's got to have it.
Aidan Quinn's character, Gary Hallett, has something called heterochromia iridum. Heterochromia is from the Latin hetero for different, plus chromia means color. And iridum is a harmless condition in which the iris is colored partially or completely different than the other irises. Although it's fairly rare in humans, there are some celebrities with this condition, such as Kate Bosworth. Hey, bringing it back around to Blue Crush. We talked about like way long ago. Mila Kunis and Jane Seymour, to name a few.
How common is that heterochromia? It's rare?
It says rare in humans.
Don't huskies have that a lot?
Yeah, it's
like
so
the
cute.
dogs, husky dogs. I've seen that a lot in dogs. All right. So the name of Sally's botanical shop is Verbena. Verbena is a flowering plant that has long been associated with divine and supernatural forces.
Do we have Verbena on our topics list?
I don't know, but it should be.
It should very well be.
Yeah.
Let me go add that real quick.
All right. So the next one is Aunt Frances, played by Stockard Channing, and Aunt Jet, played by Diane Wiest, frequently wear clothing and styles that were popular in the early 20th century, suggesting that they really are much older than they appear to be, as some of the townsfolk imply.
We had our Franny episode where we talk about kind of the, not conspiracy, the theory that why this is in the timelines, right? So if you want to go hear a little bit more about the aunt's timelines, you can check out the Francis Owens episode.
Yeah. And also we know that they are much older than they appear because of the placenta bar, aka black soap, which we also talked about on a recent episode.
Go check out the soap episode.
Yeah. All right. Next one.
The set of the island was supposed to be in New England, but it was shot in the San Juan Strait in Washington on the West Coast due to weather and financial resources. Interesting. I didn't know that it was like financially cheaper to shoot. Well, I guess if you're closer to Hollywood and all the equipment and the folks, it's cheaper to be on the West Coast.
Probably, especially if they had to ship up that O'Brien's taxi from Los Angeles.
I know.
All right. The character Jimmy Angela was originally named Jimmy Hawkins and was a Texas redneck. The part was rewritten as Eastern European for Goran Viznik after director Griffin Dunn saw him in Welcome to Sarajevo and Madonna's Power. Oh my God, he was in the Power of Goodbye music video?
I've never seen it, but we should put it on our WMSR.
Holy shit. I never even realized that was him.
I have never seen it.
And I don't think I've seen that music video since the 90s, but that makes complete sense. I haven't seen it since the 90s.
I can't wait to just talk about him. He sounds really interesting, the actor.
It'd be cool if we can get him on the show.
We will get him on the show.
He seems super like personable. I think if any of the Practical Magic cast would be on the show, I think he would be like, sure, yeah, I'll do it.
It's our boy Jimmy.
Jimmy boy.
All right, so this is from our episode 3. So the real Death Watch beetle, Zestobium rifovaliosum, does indeed make a noise associated in folklore with impending death, but for cinematic purposes, this presented a problem. When the beetle can be heard, it cannot be seen because it is concealed in its burrow, which is in a piece of old wood or timber. The sound is a rapid tapping rather than the sound effect used.
Yeah.
And in our episode, we talked about he has to be hitting his head against the wood for it to make a noise, so it can't be clicking when it's running around.
Yeah. In that episode, our episode 3, the Death Watch beetle episode, we also showcase a little clip of what a Death Watch beetle actually sounds like. So if you want to go check that out to hear what it actually sounds like, that's where you could find it.
It almost sounds like a cicada to me.
Yeah, a little bit.
Little
Like
bit.
a little clicking, right? The cast said they felt supernatural elements of the house starting to affect them. Both the cast and crew claimed they heard supernatural noises while filming the coven scene at the end of the film. Like what
That's
kind of
cool.
supernatural noises are we talking here though? Like maybe it was just the wall flapping from the picture supposed to be the picture. Right?
But the thing is, like, the house is supposed to be a shell, right? So that scene, the coven scene, would have been on a studio lot?
On a soundstage, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
They
Okay.
did use the shell of the house for I think the conservatory. Didn't they actually build that out like
Right.
in the shell?
Right.
But not the parlor where that exorcism scene would have
Mm-mm.
occurred. So I don't know. That makes no
I don't know
sense.
about that one. Here's one we've talked about before. So Aunt Frances, Stalker Channing, and Aunt Jet, who is played by Diane Weiss, are leaving the post office in the beginning of the movie, and you can clearly see behind them a sign that says Maria's Island Post Office.
Okay, hold on. I want to look at that scene for a second. Okay, so the post office says United States Post Office, Maria's Island, MA. The zip code is 02568. I'm going to Google that. 02568. Let's see. Google Maps. So the name of the town for the actual zip code 02568 for Massachusetts is Vineyard Haven.
Is it an island?
Let me zoom out a little bit. Yeah, it looks like it. Martha's Vineyard is included in there, I think.
Okay, I see. Martha's Vineyard zip code, basically.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, when we did our Franny episode, we got to listen in on a Stalker Channing interview, and she had lied about being fluent in French because she wanted a free trip to Paris to record the French dubbing for the international version.
Yeah.
And she said she knows better now, but she could have really like kicked herself in the ass for doing so. But I guess there's a clip out there somewhere of her maybe trying to speak French, but she also said that the recording artists probably just redubbed everything because they're French. The French instructor said her
It was like really bad.
Stockard's accent was Bulgarian at best. Right?
They could have gotten Jimmy to do it.
Exactly.
Or put on to do it. That's funny.
Yeah.
Didn't we say like she had the opposite of imposter syndrome? Like she
Mhm.
she had to have some big ass balls to be like, yeah, I speak French. It's fine.
She has Ruth Goodman energy from Victorian Farm.
Dude, that's beautifully filmed, by the way.
Yeah, I think so too.
Beautifully filmed. All right, so after bad reactions at a test screening, composer Michael Nyman's score was rejected at the last minute. It was called too European sounding and obtrusive.
Oh,
It was
wow.
Yeah, that's harsh.
Yeah.
It was replaced with one by Alan Silvestri. The change was made so late that the soundtrack albums had already been pressed. As a result, the first batch to hit stores all had 2 suites of themes from Nyman's score. A few weeks later, a new version of the CD with the same ISBN number was made, replacing Nyman's tracks with music by Silvestri. Talk about just put the knife in and twist it.
I know. That's crazy that that CD is floating around out there somewhere.
You can actually hear the original suites if you go to YouTube. We can link them below. Somebody posted them.
But you wanted to do a whole episode on them, right?
I do want to do a whole episode on them, but I can see why. I can see why they went with Alan Silvestri's music. We'll talk about it then.
Okay.
But I can see why they nixed that real quick.
All right, so they all frequently refer to Maria as Aunt Maria, but as she was pregnant when she was banished to the island, and then they are all descendants of her, she would not be their aunt. She would be their many times great-grandmother, not Aunt Maria. Grandma Maria.
Wait a minute. Do we know how the aunts are descended from her?
No, we don't.
I mean, she could be their aunt. We don't know, right?
I don't think so.
We'll have we need to like do a family tree episode at some point so we can get to the bottom of this connection.
Did you ever watch West Wing?
No.
I have not either. So Mark Bernstein, that's Michael.
Oh, okay.
Stockard, Michael, Mark, and Evan Rachel Wood all appeared on West Wing.
Wait, West Wing or West? Wait, what am I
West
thinking?
Wing.
What am I thinking of? Westworld? Wasn't there a show with Evan Rachel Wood called Westworld?
Right. Remember when we talked about that? And I was like, isn't there a water world?
I was like, oh, Kevin Costner.
Kevin Costner drinks his own piss.
That's right. Okay, I'll have to check that out.
Yeah.
All right. Nicole Kidman and Diane Wiest appeared in Rabbit Hole 2010. The synopsis of this is Becca and Howie Corbett are a happily married couple whose perfect world is forever changed when their young son Danny is killed by a car. Becca, an executive turned stay-at-home mother, tries to redefine her existence in a surreal landscape of well-meaning family and friends. Painful, poignant, and often funny, Becca's experiences lead her to find solace in a mysterious relationship with a troubled young comic book artist, Jason, the teenage driver of the car that killed Danny. Becca's fixation with Jason pulls her away from memories of Danny while Howie immerses himself in the past, seeking refuge in outsiders who offer him something Becca is unable to give. The Corbetts, both adrift, make surprising and dangerous choices as they choose a path that will determine their fate. Wow. That sounds
bananas.
That sounds juicy as fuck. Like scandalous.
Scandalous.
Yeah. Wow. What is Diane Wiest's role in all of this? I don't know. I've never heard of this movie in my life.
Me either. What year did you say it was?
2010.
Oh, pretty recent.
Put that on the watch list in our Discord.
So the girl who plays young Jillian, her name was Laura Ann Criswell. And this movie was her acting debut, which I don't know of her in any other movies.
What else has she been in? I'm gonna IMDb her right now.
I like this next one. It says, when Sally runs to Michael, the song This Kiss by Faith Hill plays. Faith Hill is married to Tim McGraw, who would later play Sandra Bullock's husband in her Oscar-winning role in The Blind Side.
Oh shit.
How about that?
Look at that. Love it. It's all connected. It's all freaking connected. But how is Tim McGraw linked to Billy Zane?
Ooh, shit. Let's do this.
It would be the same shit, wouldn't it be? Like Tim McGraw played in the movie Sandra Bullock, Diane Wiest, Johnny Depp, Leonardo DiCaprio, Billy Zane. There, we did it.
Bada bing, bada boom.
Bada bing, bada boom.
Bada bing, bada Billy.
Bada bing, bada Billy. Bada bing, bada Zane.
Bada bing, bada Zane.
All right, next one. Director Griffin Dunne. He had a sister named Dominique Dunne, who was also an actress. Her big break was in The Poltergeist in 1982. The year it premiered, on the day before Halloween, Dominique was strangled to death in her West Hollywood driveway by her ex-boyfriend, John Thomas Sweeney. He served only 3.5 years in prison.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I never made the connection that was Griffin Dunne's sister.
Mm-hmm.
That's nuts to me.
Mm-hmm. Only 3.5 years for murdering someone?
Yeah, that's fucked. Yeah. The Grim Life Collective did a video on that whole murder, I believe.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay. But he also has another connection to another creator?
Yeah. Joan Didion, the writer, she's Griffin Dunne's aunt, so that would make him her nephew.
What did she write?
She wrote Let Me Tell You What I Mean, The Year of Magical Thinking, Where I Was From. There's a book called Miami. There's a book called The White Album, a book of essays.
Interesting that she has a book of like magical thinking. Is that what you said?
Yeah. She wrote a lot about, I guess, the 1960s. I really don't know too much about her, but she's
I'd never heard of her before.
Yeah, she's a well-known author.
This I did not know until reading up on this trivia, but the production was cursed, so they say, by a real witch. So the making of practical magic got eerie when Griffin Dunne, the director, hired a real witch to serve as a consultant. Smart on his part. In return for her services, she was paid a fee and put up in a nice hotel. Dunn told Vulture magazine that the witch surprised him with a phone call one day in which she inexplicably demanded a percentage of the film's profits and an additional $250,000 in payment.
Dude, that's balls.
That's who were you just talking about? That's Stockard Channing ball energy.
Yeah, that's big Dioc energy right there.
Yuck.
Dioc, big
The
Dioc
producers
energy.
obviously wouldn't agree to this, so the witch said that she would put a curse on both the movie and its director. She later left Gryffindor a voicemail in which she threatened, quote unquote, a land of curses, then began speaking in tongues. The woman also attempted to sue Warner Brothers, unnerved the studio paid her to go away, basically.
All right. I don't know if she was an actual witch or if she was just using the title of a witch to get this job. But like, okay, first of all, how does she land a job like this?
Yeah. What application did she fill out?
And number two, why wasn't she psychologically evaluated before she got this job?
Yeah.
And like, can I just say I'm a witch, walk onto any Hollywood set and be like, I can give you my expert opinion on, whether you should say Hecate or Hecate.
Dude, that would be such a cool gig. Be a witch consultant for movies.
But like, I'm thinking she just used this title as a witch. I think she just called herself a witch to get this job, but then kind of used that power of her position to threaten them to extort them for more money. Like, that's pretty fucked.
She got cocky.
She did. I don't think she was a real witch. I think she was just using that to get money out of Hollywood.
Hollywood.
Anyway.
Hollywood.
You want to take the next one? Am I taking the next one?
Yeah.
All right. So the next one is Sandra Bullock made practical magic because Speed 2 bombed. A big hit can change the course of an actor's career. So can a big bomb. In 1997, Sandra Bullock starred in Speed 2, Cruise Control, the sequel to her breakthrough hit from a couple years prior. Co-star Keanu Reeves opted not to return, which was the first strike of the movie.
Yeah.
Setting it on a cruise ship instead of a racing bus was the second strike. Just like Titanic Part 2. Maybe when Keanu Reeves was like, I'm out, Billy Zane should have stepped in and be like, I'll do it.
Bad on boats.
Bad on boats.
I love Speed. I think I saw Speed before I saw Practical Magic.
Yeah, that was her. Wasn't that one of her first movies, Sandra Bullock? That was the first movie I remember seeing her in. Also, there was The Net. Remember The Net?
Mm-mm.
You never saw The Net?
Mm-mm.
Oh, this movie's so good because it's like before the internet became this like big thing that took over the world. It was like the internet in its very, very early stages. It's fascinating to rewatch. Like in today's day and age, it's fascinating to rewatch.
When did you rewatch it?
Probably like, I don't know, maybe a couple years ago. I think it was maybe on Amazon Prime or something. But it's basically, she plays this like, I don't know if she's a hacker or if she's just like, she just knows her way around the computer. So she ends up with a file that she wasn't supposed to have. And then people are looking for her and she's on the run. It's a suspense thriller. It's really good. Okay. Yeah. I love it. I love anything she's in.
Yeah, so. I do too. I don't think I've seen anything with her that I have not liked. Not like that I would watch over and over, but I'm like, I've never been like, oh, that was a bad movie,
Because she could do anything. She could do romance. She could do comedy. She could do thriller, suspense. She does that. She's a acting chameleon. She's great.
She's amazing.
She's so talented.
She's amazing.
Yeah. So the picture tanked, earning $48 million domestically, as opposed to the original's $121 million. That's a pretty big difference there.
Wow. Yeah.
During the press junket for Practical Magic, Bullock told reporters that the failure of Speed 2 convinced her to stop trying to make blockbusters and focus instead on interesting projects that helped her stretch as an actress. Good choice. Good choice, Sandra. The romantic drama Hope Floats was her first film under this new professional ethic. Practical Magic was the second. And I must say that Practical Magic and Hope Floats kind of have the same.
They both have like a big like old house and like the mom who she's kind of quirky. Again, Sandra Bullock plays a southern girl.
She plays a great southern girl.
She really does. I love.
She plays one in the Yaya Sisterhood too. Really cute movie and just very quaint. Yeah, it has that quaint
small town thing.
Small town. Harry Connick Jr. Not bad to look at. So that's a cute movie too. And
Justin Matisse.
Who's Justin Matisse?
His character's name. You stink, Justin Matisse.
Is that his? I don't remember. I haven't seen it in
It's
a really
okay.
long time. But I just remember like that movie. It gave me the same vibes as Practical Magic did.
I agree.
So the actress promised to take only roles that really interested her. And Practical Magic acknowledges that abuse and trauma are things that happen, but it puts a love story side by side with that hurt, a reminder that life does go on even after it tries to tear you apart. And that's a quote by Alana Bennett. And I guess that's from the article, Practical Magic is 20 years old and just as relevant as ever. I'm not sure
that.
what that was. BuzzFeedNews.com. We'll link it below.
So you kind of touched on this a little earlier, but Nicole Kidman actually hurt herself for her art. Like all the best actors, Nicole Kidman is willing to suffer for her art. If that means risking giving herself a concussion because she's doing it, so it will provide a scene with some extra punch, so be it. That's just what she did for Practical Magic. So Griffin Dunn, reflecting back on the production to Yahoo Entertainment, remembered the exorcism scene that serves as the climax to the movie. Kidman wanted to bang her head against the floor as her character Jillian is violently propelled backwards by a witchy force field. He says, "We weren't sure where she was going to land, so rubber wood strips were laid out," Dunn said. "And I just remember her take after take slamming her head. She looked totally possessed." The director praised Kidman's acting during the scene, saying her skin would go from bright red to white to red to white in waves of, purging. It was intense.
Wow.
Yikes.
Yeah.
I
Yikes.
didn't know the floor was made of rubber until doing this.
Right. Yeah, you can't even really tell, like looking at the scene. So that brings us to some failed TV spin-offs. We have heard I've heard recently that they're trying to redo a series again, but I don't think.
Really? Well, you showed this to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
so
this is that one? Okay.
This was in 2003.
Okay.
I think they've since tried to generate another Practical Magic series, which also has not panned out yet.
Okay.
All right. So this one says, considering Practical Magic's popularity has grown in the 20 years since its release, you might find it odd that there's never been any kind of sequel or reboot. This is not for lack of trying. In 2003, CBS began developing a television spinoff. The show was to be an hour-long drama focusing on the Owen sisters. Sandra Bullock and Denise Denovi were on board as producers. And if you go to the IMDb page for this spinoff, you'll see Sandra Bullock's name listed as producer. I'm pretty sure it's producer. But it says, despite the star power, the program never got beyond the development stage. Another attempt was in 2010 when ABC Family announced that it was working on a TV reboot. Once again, project never came to fruition. In 2004, this is the one that I was thinking of. In 2004, a pilot called Sudbury, Sudbury, based on the novel's location of Sudbury, Massachusetts, was produced based on Practical Magic with Kim Delaney as Sally and Jerry Ryan as Jilly. The show wasn't picked up despite Sandra Bullock executive producing the pilot. Her name, if you go on IMDb and type in Sudbury, the production page for this show that never was, I think just the pilot comes up. Sandra Bullock's name is listed as executive producer on that page.
It's interesting that she has continually tried to get this to continue on. Sandra, we want to talk to you. You live on in our hearts.
I know. And also Sudbury, it's a town in Massachusetts. It is, I don't think it's anywhere near the zip code that we just typed in for Maria's Island. I think it's more inland. I don't think it's actually on an island, which is like what the books say. It's on an island, right? Or the movie, rather. Does the book say it's on an island, or is it just New England? Did the books ever say something?
I don't think it's an island.
Okay. The books never say anything about an island.
I don't think so.
Okay. All right. So Variety released an article back in 2019 stating that the prequel Rules of Magic has been, this is what I was seeing recently. Yeah, this was the more recent one that I heard of. It was ordered for HBO Max. The Rules of Magic, not Practical Magic, not a spin-off of Practical Magic. The story about the aunts. The synopsis of that show was set in 1960s New York, just like the book. The series followed three troubled siblings, Franny Jett and Vincent Owens, who wrestle with abnormalities that have kept them isolated. But the tumultuous times unearth the extraordinary discovery that they are, in fact, descendants of bloodline of witches. The two sisters will become the revered and sometimes feared aunts in Practical Magic, while their brother will leave an unexpected legacy. The show may have been derailed by the pandemic or face other production issues. It's unknown whether it will ever be made. Being set up for a 10-episode first season, writers include Dana Barada, who also wrote for Dawson's Creek and Jessica Jones. So,
I think there was a interview recently with Alice Hoffman, and she was saying, yeah, but because of the pandemic and a few other things, it just couldn't get off the ground, and it probably just gotten kind of forgotten.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it seems like there's something keeping this from being made. Maybe it's just like a little hint to the entertainment industry, finally, that some things are just better left as they are. Just keep them the gems that they were in
I
their
thought you were
moment
going
of
to say
time.
maybe it needs a little push from the Stinas over on Magnolia Street.
I mean, it would be awesome to be involved in some kind of reboot or something, but like, I just hope that if something is done, it's done the right way and it's not done in like a shitty,
Not just do it to do it.
yeah, like
Yeah,
it
I
has to
agree.
be done right, you know?
Yeah.
Do it
I agree.
justice. Do it
Do
justice.
justice.
Yeah.
You know, like Amy Sherman Palladino, who did Gilmore Girls. She's the writer, producer of Gilmore Girls.
Yeah.
Also did Mrs. Maisel, which
Okay.
takes place in the 60s in New York. Amazing set design, costuming, everything.
Okay.
I could see her like, take this on, Amy. All right. So the Washington locals were not happy about the production, apparently. Some scenes in Practical Magic were filmed inside a studio set. Others were filmed on location in the state of Washington. You'd like to think residents of a small town would be thrilled to have a major Hollywood movie crew come to their communities. Many were, but some weren't. A few of the locals saw a negative impact. The need to park production vehicles in the downtown district of Friday Harbor took away available parking for the citizens, while also delaying a project to improve the storm drains. Okay. Oh, that sucks.
Mm-hmm.
This led to continuous negotiations between the town council and representatives of Warner Brothers. Meanwhile, over in Coopville, some people felt the need to close certain streets during filming because it was hurting local businesses by making it harder for patrons to reach them.
Damn.
Wow. In the final scene, most of the population of Coopville showed up to play the townspeople watching the Owens women's annual Halloween performance when they jumped off the roof. So those are locals. That's cool. They were paid $40 a day to work as extras.
Dude, so if it says most of the population of Coopville showed up to play townspeople, that's
So
a pretty
small.
small island. Because,
So
I mean, like,
small.
that's not a lot of people.
I guess we'll find out one day when we get there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it'd be a dream to be able to visit on behalf of the podcast one day.
Huh.
The next section, the director had to have an exorcism. So having an unpleasant encounter with the witch, who was hired to be a consultant on Practical Magic, unnerved Griffin Dunn, understandably so. After all, she hadn't just placed a curse on the movie, she had placed one on him personally. And to make sure he wasn't negatively impacted by any black magic, he decided to get an exorcism. Dunn told Vulture magazine that it was, quote, a very simple, new age ceremony, entailing mostly chants and smoke and, bracket, stuff like that, end quote. When asked why he sought the exorcism, the director replied, if you're a person with any kind of spiritual sensibility, or if you believe in a kind of higher power, you're open to beliefs in many things. But with that open-mindedness comes risk. He added that, for his own peace of mind, the ceremony was worth the $100 that he paid.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, I wonder who he got the exorcism from.
Mm-hmm. Come forward and talk to us.
I know.
Come
That
forward
would be
and talk
so
to us.
fascinating to talk to him about that ceremony. I want to know.
Can't wait
Like,
to talk to him.
I was just taking a glance at the creepy catalog article. There's a couple other things that we missed. I thought it was interesting to note that the Sally Apothecary Verbena shop, which was filmed in the town of Coopville on Whidbey Island in Washington, in real life, the space is actually a bakery or a coffee shop or something like that. I think it's a bakery.
What's it called?
This article says it's a bakery. I think it's Little Red Hen Bakery.
Cute.
Yeah, it's adorable. I'll show you what it looks like now. Have you seen what it looks like lately?
Yes.
Yeah, if we visit this place, we got to go to this bakery. Yeah, looks lovely. All right, what else is on this? Director Griffin Dunn starred in the horror comedy An American Werewolf in London, 1981, as Jack Goodman, an American backpacker who is killed by a werewolf and then appears to his friend as a ghost.
Okay.
Random.
What in the random?
Yeah, what in the random?
I guess I'm doing my interview today. She says she's feeling okay.
Oh, good. Are you nervous?
I'm tired. I don't have like the spunk and pizzazz, so I need to go outside and maybe eat lunch.
Do you want to tell our listeners what you're doing?
Oh, I guess I could tell them.
Did you mention it on here at all?
I have not. I don't know when it comes out. I think she said June, July. Both of us, we were reached out to by Kim from Clever Kim's Curios. She hosts the Average Witch podcast. She asked to interview us. My interview is in an hour. And I'm so very nervous and I'm so very sleepy.
Don't be nervous. You are
So-
the queen of just being like a conversationalist. Like
Oh,
I'm sure the conversation will flow.
We'll see. But a lot of the stuff I think I've talked about on this show. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
so, but if you want to hear a little more in depth, I'm used to it being about like, let's talk about you instead.
Or
But
practical.
no, I don't
matter,
have that out this time.
like we use this platform to talk about the movie and the books mostly.
Mm-hmm.
But if any of our listeners want to know more about Kristina and her I guess her life, her daily life and her practice, check that out. Do you know when the episode's going to be out?
I think midsummer.
Oh,
Not the actual midsummer, but like June, July.
June, July. Okay. You mean it's not going to be like the solstice, but it's going to actually be March 8th?
March 8th. Oh, that's so far away.
But it's actually like right around the corner. It's less than a month from now.
Oh yeah, how about that?
How about them apples?
How about them bananas? How about it?
I don't think there's anything else in this article that we really haven't said already.
Okay. I loved being able to go back and watch the movie with you and be surprised. I'm surprised every time.
And again, I'm pretty sure we could watch this movie from beginning to end and still have a lot of shit to talk about. Because it's like Billy Zane, the gift that keeps on giving.
That's right. I want that on a shirt.
Put it on a shirt. All right, man. I think that's all we have for you guys today. Thanks for listening. We have some socials for you.
We do. And also, if you want to send us any inconsistencies or oopsie daisies that we missed, you can find us on Instagram at Magnolia Street Podcast. Send them slide into our DMs, or you can email them over at magnoliastreetpodcast@gmail.com.
Yeah. And if you want to support us on Patreon, you could do that at patreon.com/Magnolia Street Podcast. For $1 a month, you can get on all of our Patreon polls. You guys can help us decide what we talk about next. And also, what else comes with that $1? Wasn't there something else?
Get a shout out.
A shout out. That's right. You get a Patreon shout out for that tier. For $3, you can get our show notes as well as our after hours posts. And for $5 a month, you can join us on our Discord and our private Facebook community where you have access to lives and our book club. And it's just a lot of fun over there chit-chatting about random extra little things that come up about the books and the movie. And what else we got? We got our $8 tier, which that gets you access to our Song-a-Sode catalog. Every time we release a Song-a-Sode, we'll add some of the extra tidbits up on the Patreon, like MP3, streams, downloads, lyrics, anything having to do with the songs. I just posted a video of me performing the song when I debuted one of the songs at my show like a month ago.
Since we're going to be doing the Song-a-Sode next week, how about giving our patrons the song the week before so they can hear the whole song?
We could do that.
Okay, I'll put it on our calendar.
We still have to, if we're going to do like a little live performance for the patrons, we got to figure out a date for that too.
Yeah. Okay.
There's so much to do.
I know. I love it. I love it. I love my job.
It's fun. It's fun. So yeah, also on that $8 tier, you guys can also get extra audio visual content. We've had bonus episodes up there, a meditation video up there. Kristina is toying around with the idea of adding a Sims feature to our Patreon. So that will be fun.
Sims together, and you can live on Magnolia Street with the ladies.
Yeah. Oh, and we just rolled out a new $15 Big Kahuna tier. If you guys want to talk
to us a little more personally, video messaging app through Marco Polo. It's free to download. Just sign up, and we'll help you get to where you need to get to if you want to be a little more involved in our lives. Yeah, you can just talk a little more intimately.
Yeah, and you guys can get some FaceTime with us if you want to see our lovely faces on the day-to-day.
Mostly on the toilet.
Toilet.
Still in bed.
We'll try to keep it PG, we promise.
Yeah.
I think that's all we got for today.
We have a TikTok. You can find us over there where you get the episode previews, Magnolia Street Podcast over there. We have a Goodreads where you can check out all the bookshelves on books we mention or our references, sources. And we also have a Spotify playlist. All the music that we mention on here, it goes on a playlist over on Spotify.
Yep, so and they don't have to be a patron to get that access to that, right? That one's just public. Yeah. So if you guys listen to the podcast and you're not a patron, you can still get involved in our world somehow and listen to all the fun music we talk about on the show. And it's just fun to listen to. It's a great playlist. I listened to it at work the other day while I was washing dishes. It was lovely. I was dropping it like it was hot till Shorty got low.
Your bosses are just concerned.
They weren't there. It's fine. I do my thing.
Is there anything else, my friend?
What do we got coming up? What's the next episode?
I think our song-isode is next.
Our song-isode is next.
So you're going to be hearing Phone Tree Day.
Phone Tree Day. Phone Tree Day.
What does Linda say? This is a big deal to get chosen.
Is that what she said? How did your voice get that deep just now?
She has a husky voice, doesn't she?
Yeah, but how did you just do that? That's
Each mom calls the next one down. It's a big deal to get chosen.
oh my god, I can't. My voice doesn't go that low. It's so funny.
I can't wait to listen back to this.
Yeah, we're delirious now at this point. It is 1:30 in the afternoon and we're already cracking up. All right, are we ready to wrap this up?
Shut her down, baby.
Shut it down. All right, we are the Stinas. Thank you so much for hanging out with us on Magnolia Street today. I'm Justina,
I'm Kristina.
and we'll see you next time.
At that house down the street, at that house on Magnolia Street, would you go down to Magnolia Street where the wisteria grow out? And that house of magic and mystery, so would you go down to Magnolia Street?
I gotta go outside and wake up.
Yeah.
Oh, makeup.
Grab a brush and put a little makeup.
You want to.